Hi, boys and girls. I'm pretty excited because today's show is going to be...
Unbelievable.
Let's go to the phone. Broward County, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, what's on your mind?
Yeah. Is Yolanda there?
I know you are, but what am I?
Is this the Shell station off the Sheridan exit?
No, sir. If you want gas,
You'll have to wait for lunch.
Dade County, hello? Is someone there?
Is someone there? Is someone there?
Turn that thing off.
There? Is someone
Turn that thing off.
Must be a mung brain. Palm Beach, hello?
Must be a mung brain. Must be a mung brain. Must be a mung brain. Must be a mung brain.
Hello, you're on the air.
Ahoy, Pee-wee!
Ahoy, Captain Carl!
I'll be needing your help, matey. I'm lost at sea.
Oh, no.
You hear that, Globey?
Captain Carl is lost at sea. Don't worry, Captain. My pal Globy the Globe will find you, won't you?
Right here, Pee-wee.
Right where?
Right under my nose.
You mean right here?
No.
Over
Pee-wee.
here?
Right
Don't
here?
Tickle, don't tickle my
Where?
nose.
Captain Carl! Captain Carl, what's the matter, Captain Carl?
Captain!
All of a sudden, a big wind came up and blew my boat into outer space.
Outer space?
Gee, you must have a long cord.
Never mind that, you swab. Get me down.
Okay, Captain, listen. Drop the anchor.
Drop anchor. Well, okay.
Well, you know, it's worth a shot. You never know.
The anchor's pulling us back down, Ahoy, Pee-wee!
Ahoy, Captain Carl.
Nice of you to drop in.
Aye, and they say there's no parking spaces in Miami. What say we head for that topless donut shop in Fort Lauderdale?
That sounds splendid.
You know, Pee-wee, I've been out to sea for a long time now.
What are you driving at, Captain?
That's cute. That's great. Now, you were Pee-wee,
Yeah,
and Dan was Captain
Carl.
Carl.
which is played on the TV show by Phil Hartman of Saturday Night Live.
No, I don't watch the show. I must admit it.
Stan.
Well, I'm not into that. What could I do? What could I do?
It's so mindless and idiotic. It's just perfect for Saturday morning.
I can't help it. I can't stand Pee Wee Herman.
Well,
It's just one of those things, you know. It's just
I have
like,
a 6-year-old, so...
Oh, I see. So you don't really have much choice
No
about
choice
it, huh?
in the matter at all.
But you're
I
the,
like it.
Yeah, you're the kind of guy who probably revels in having to watch that stuff, you know.
It's moronic. It's perfect. It's
Yeah.
right at my level.
I mean, I have to watch Alf now, too, you know,
Oh, yeah.
which I never watched before. And I kind of like Alf.
Yeah. Yeah, I can kind of relate to that. You know, a lot of the people who call seem to be from outer space. Not only on this show, but on ours,
right.
too.
Is that, that's kind of long for a bit, isn't that?
Well, that's actually 2 bits slapped together. We
I
usually
see.
don't go over 90 seconds, but we actually had 2 talk show type bits that I edited together
Oh, that's great.
precisely and especially for this
Oh,
broadcast.
that's great. That's great. Now, you guys were talking about, when Dan called in, you were talking about getting tired of Mr. Rogers. Who is this?
It's a beautiful day for a communist. Unless you're on the KGB list, you will do time in a salt mine. You will do slave labor. Hello, boys and girls. This is Mr. Rogers. Welcome to my neighborhoodski. Oh, I'll bet that's my Russian postman, Comrade McFeely. Coming. You know, he's kind of a funny postman. Sure. Not only does he deliver my mail, he likes to open it, too. I guess he's just kind of curious. Sure.
Fred Rogers?
Oh, hi, Mr. Secret Policeman.
Pleased to be coming with me.
But why?
Can you say crimes against state?
I think so.
Can you say CIA spy?
Oh, sure.
Come on, let's go.
Dos Fredonia, boys and girls.
Pleased to be watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood live from Siberia for next 20 years.
Now, you realize, don't you, that if Gorbachev has his way, bits like that will be out.
Well, of course.
You know, I mean, we won't have the KGB and the secret police and all that junk anymore. Boy.
So the days of that are numbered. No, I think what Dan was driving at, though, is that that was a kind of a topical bit that ACN did when he went over there. He did a cultural exchange with a Russian kiddie show host.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those things that a lot of morning shows pound into the ground. Mr. Rogers, Dr. Ruth is another one. I mean, it's so tired. Give it a rest.
Right. We don't get very much stuff pounded into us. The one thing that ACN did pound into us was they're very big on what's his name, Clint Eastwood. Oh yeah, they just like every week there's another bit. It's like they're promoting Clint for president or something. You know, they want to move him. They want him to jump right from mayor into the White House or something. It's like first we had the Leave It to Beaver series, then we had the Andy Griffith series. Now we've got Take Off on Dirty Dancing with Cliff. You know, it's like he's their fall guy. If they're sitting up there and if they can't come up with one more bit, and they know they need one more bit.
Yeah.
Let's do Eastwood. You know.
Well, let's not knock ACN. God Almighty, they're
phenomenal.
Yeah, they do some good stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe Clint will make another movie and all that stuff will be relevant. You never know.
Right. Okay, I want to run one here. We just run it, and because Jim brought a whole bunch of stuff that they've done. Do you have, is all the stuff you use, is it locally produced, or do you have any?
No, we do a lot of our own stuff. All our own stuff. And,
on Hot 105, I might mention.
Yes, thank you.
Which will tick Tanner off again. But that's okay, all right? I don't care. And Sonny Fox listens also, but he may be napping.
See, I don't really do impressions. I do a lot of the character voices, but Dan does a good Sly Stallone, and he does a good Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times what I'll do to save myself work is I'll just churn out a script featuring one or the other or both of those characters and just hand it to Dan and say, "See ya, I'm headed for the beach," you know?
That's a good idea.
Hey, kids, it's Sylvester Stallone, as you've never seen him before, in an animated cartoon. Flower.
I'm not a flower, I'm a skunk.
He's a forest creature with a taste for revenge. Sylvester Stallone is Ramby. I'm your worst nightmare. Ramby, a young buck out for blood. You killed my mother. Now I'm come to get you, man. The hunted becomes the hunter in Ramby. Also starring Arnold Schwarzenegger as Thumper the Bunny Rabbit. Hey, Ramby, can you come out and play? Later, after we take over the Boy Scout camp, okay? New Disney World Pictures presents Ramby. Forest Blood Part 1, rated R. Check newspaper for showtimes. When you wish upon a star, shut up, will you please? Okay.
I love it. I love it. You guys must have a lot of fun doing
We have
stuff.
a blast. We sit there. The real show takes place while the records are playing. We kind of turn down the music and have fun with the people who call in and do a lot of filthy, disgusting, perverted kind of humor that we can't possibly put on the radio and get it out of our system. We have a lot of fun.
Well, it's fantastic, the stuff that you do. My only complaint is that when I turn Hot 105 on in the morning, I generally am hearing music, and I'm not hearing this stuff. Why is that?
Well, part of the thing is, I mean, we do a lot of content. We do a lot of show content in terms of comedy.
Am I just missing it? Am I just punching up the buttons at the wrong time?
You could be. Well, for one thing, we do a countdown. We do a whole half hour from 7 to 7:30 of the top 7 requested songs in the morning.
Boy.
You know, we try to get as much funny stuff in there as we can, and there's a lot of it there, but we also manage to streamline it and not waste a lot of time chit-chatting on the air.
You got to do a countdown on the top 7 bits.
There's an idea.
Yeah. The hell with the music. Go count down on the bits, man.
Well, the thing is, you know, you've got 3 pretty strong CHR stations in town.
Mm-hmm.
And the other 2 are doing a lot of talk and a lot of fooling around, and we try to get our funny stuff in there and out of the way, and then get more music on than they do. And we succeed in doing that. We usually play about 3 or 4 songs at least an hour more than they do during the morning show. So,
I was listening to Neil the other morning.
Well, somebody has to.
An extended period of time, because I was on my way to Palm Beach, and I was tied up on I-95, and nobody was moving. And so I was locked into listening to the radio, which is fine, because I enjoy the morning shows. But I got to tell you this, and this is, we're not talking about Hot 105 here in particular. We're talking about, generally speaking, across the dial on FM. The only person who was consistently doing something on radio was Mike Ranieri. Whenever Neil went to music, I punched all the shows up, and everybody else was in music. And this happened like on 3 occasions when he happened to go to, for some reason, in about an hour and a half or an hour, he played 3 records. And each time he played a record, again, I punched up the other stations, and they were all doing the same thing, or commercials. Records, music, or commercials is what I heard. Now, I know that that's just an isolated incident. Listening for like an hour and a half and punching buttons a lot. I may have missed everything that Herman and McBean might have done. I may have missed everything Sonny Fox did. I may have missed everything that, you guys did or whatever. But it was interesting to me that I just got the impression that for some reason in this market now in the morning, because of Neil doing so much talk, that the rest of the stations are leaning more heavily toward music.
Well, I think that's been the case all along with GTR. Herman and McBean, I think, did a lot more content when they were on She than they do now. I don't know. That's just my perception. That may not be accurate, but at least I think so. Especially when they had Joey on the other AOR station, She, doing an alleged talk show. Sorry. And Neil. And then so you only have that one choice for AOR, and if they want to hear music, that would be the only place to do it. I mean, there are those people, that's all they want.
That's it. Play the music. And Neil ran into that when he made the move over to Zeta. He would get calls consistently. He doesn't get that many anymore from young pinheads, mainly in their 20s, who wanted to hear that music. They had to have that music in the morning.
Yeah. Well, the heck with them. If they can't take a joke,
You got another bit up there, John? Let's run another bit from Schuyler and McKay and the group over at Hot 105.
Would you like an exciting job with unlimited earning potential? Why not become a corrupt politician? That's right. You, too, can become rich, powerful, and above the law. Enroll today in the Dan McKay School of Political Corruption. You'll learn how to live like a millionaire on an annual salary of less than $25,000. Discover how to orchestrate your rise to power through the news media. How to make friends with organized crime figures. How to avoid embarrassing questions from the news media. How to conceal vast real estate holdings and other valuable assets. And how to blame all your troubles on the news media. At the Dan McKay School of Political Corruption, you won't learn your new trade in some brightly lit classroom. You'll be studying under actual working conditions, in dim, smoke-filled back rooms, dark, deserted alleyways, and aboard luxury yachts owned by suspected crime bosses. In just a few short weeks, you could be living the life of a corrupt politician, accepting valuable gifts and cash contributions without ever reporting them, having dozens of public figures in your pocket without ever getting bulges in your clothing, taking trips around the world at taxpayers' expense, and running like a bat out of hell to get away from the news media. So, join the hundreds of our graduates who've left their mark, from City Hall to the White House staff to the federal pen. Write today for more information to Dan McKay School of Political Corruption, Department of EdTech, Manila, the Philippines. That's Department Cover-Up, Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
That sounds like a really interesting thing.
1,001 uses.
Yes, absolutely. I like to get involved in that myself.
Hello, this is Dan McKay. And religion plays a major role in the cultural diversity of South Florida. Millions of Jews, Catholics, and Protestants all living together in harmony. And it's in that ecumenical spirit that I would like to share with you a look at my own religion, the Worldwide Church of Larry. Members of the Worldwide Church of Larry believe that life is a joke, and that's why we have chosen to worship Larry Fine of the Three Stooges on alternate Mondays. The faithful churchgoers gather for services at the Thunderbird Drive-In, where our preacher, or Chief Lunkhead, greets each parishioner with a rubber brick. Then, all the believers in the Worldwide Church of Larry form a circle around the chief lunkhead, and the solemn ceremony begins.
I'm sorry, Mo, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry, Mo, I didn't mean it.
Another important belief in the Worldwide Church of Larry is that no one is ever to blame for anything.
Gee, Mo, it was an accident. Gee, Mo, it was an accident.
So, if you feel that you are spiritually lost and looking for answers, why not pay a visit to the Worldwide Church of Larry? Don't get all dressed up, just come as you are. There's a big food fight after the service. And when you visit, be sure and mention my name, Dan McKay. Thank you very much. The first 15 newcomers will receive a beautiful gold-plated medallion of St. Curly. Goodbye, and may Larry bless.
I like it. I like it.
Pretty cerebral stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's real. A little heavy, you know. It's a little heavy. It's not going to wake too many people up, but it's, you got to think
Out of
about
the clear blue one morning, McKay says, I want you to write a bit, The Church of Larry. I said, well, what are you driving at? Well, they worship Larry Fine of the Three Stooges. And I said, oh, okay.
What if you're not a Three Stooges fan, though?
Well, the heck with you. No, I think our audience, you know, most of them are into that kind of stuff because it's compatible with our humor.
What kind of audience do you have, Jim?
I don't have the foggiest idea. No, I would say that they are a small...
I mean, you must punch down the phone once in a while and talk to some of these living, breathing people.
Yes, they're a small but select group of highly discriminating radio listeners. We have 11 of them.
Oh, come on.
We started out with 9.
Come on.
About a year ago, and we've been steadily building ever since.
No, that's not true at all now.
No, we have all kinds of people. Really, I mean, there's no one...
Primarily male or female?
Well, I think it skews a little bit more female, but we have a lot of guys call in, especially guys who are working early.
Yeah.
And but we have it runs the gamut from teenagers to grandmothers.
Now, do any of the listeners ever get men out of shape by the bits, or do they just, respond positively, basically?
Sometimes they get bent out of shape if they don't understand it. Why are you making fun of so and so, whoever, Ann Bishop or whoever it is?
But wouldn't that generally be somebody who had who was 55 years old, who had a radio accident, dialing across and listening to it?
No, I think surprisingly not. You think it's the older people who are more stodgy, but I think really they're a little bit more accustomed to hearing funny stuff on the radio and probably punch around a lot and know it's just a joke. They tend to be, the people who object to anything we do tend to be in their 20s for some reason. I don't know why.
That's strange, isn't it? Because you would think that the people, in that age group, I had the pinhead call me yesterday screaming at me to play more heavy metal. I'm on AM doing a talk show, why doesn't he call she and complain to them?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
Weird. Really weird.
They're out there, Stan. There's no two ways about it.
Yes, they absolutely are. I know they're out there. And let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll do another of Schuyler's more infamous bits from Hot 105. Jim Schuyler is my guest, and, For
no apparent reason.
We may take some phone calls later, okay?
Please.
And if any big celebrities are listening, like Tanner, who wouldn't let Moseley come on the show and he'd like to defend himself, he can call in. 624-9400 in Dade, 524-9400 if you're in Broward. We'll break and be right back on the major program on WINZ.
Sunrise. He's an ex-convict, and now he's back.
Whether I'm wrong, whether I'm wrong.
Ex-Mayor John LaMello. He's gotten out of the slammer, and he's singing his way into your heart.
Mistakes, I made a few, but hey, who knew? So let's not mention any. The judge, he wouldn't budge, and so I got thrown in the penitentiary. I took the fall, but through it all, I did it my way.
John LaMello. He's paid his dues. Now it's your turn.
It would be extortion, I know. Taking bribes to let someone build nursing homes. Do some fraud by mail, and you go to jail. And before you know it, you've got a ponytail.
John LaMello sings. on criminal records and tapes.
I was the chairman of the party and the mayor besides. But then I got convicted of mail fraud and taking bribes. I'm in a halfway house in Pena on a work release deal. And my hotshot attorney will file an appeal.
John LaMello Sings. Available now in the police department of your nearby McKmart store.
Well, there's one talk show I won't be doing anytime real soon.
Yeah, is he still doing that? I guess so.
I don't know. I guess so.
Kind of big it's like the Sergio Pereira thing. You know, you walk in, big excitement, a lot of publicity, and then, nothing. But, boy, you wouldn't want to be mayor of Sunrise for anything, would you?
No, I know it. They're
you had to be
two.
the cleanest thing in the world. You know, like, you got to be careful the way you brush your teeth. Incredible. Okay, we got Crocodile what?
Oh, come on now. You don't want to burn all these off.
Oh, I want to burn this one off.
Oh,
I've been waiting to play this one.
Well,
because
it's your show.
I haven't seen either Crocodile Dundee 1 or Crocodile Dundee 2.
You haven't seen the first one?
I didn't see the first one. I got it on tape sitting at home, because I pay all this massive amount of money to cable. And I even joined the CBS Video Club, which is incredible.
So you'll have all the old episodes?
That's the club where you buy the movie and then it's on your cable about 2 weeks later.
He was just a common bloke from the outback of Australia. Now he's in America. He's Crocodile Dung Heap.
Look out, Mike. Giants.
Them ain't giants. That's a drive-in movie.
Drive-in, eh? We don't have them in the outback.
Crocodile Dung Heap. A fish out of water in the big city, Okeechobee, Florida.
Now listen, Dung Heap. We brought you to Okeechobee to stop alligator poachers. Can you handle it?
Dunno, Mike. Back home, we don't poach alligators, but we do poach eggs. Look out, Mike. One of them Florida Panthers, I expect.
That ain't no panther. That's a cow.
A cow, eh, Mike? We don't have them in the outback.
Paul Hogan is Crocodile Dung Heap. Also starring Fantasy Island's Hervé Villechaize.
Hey, boss, put me down. What are you
I'm
doing?
just putting another shrimp on the barbie for you.
Put me down, boss. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Listen, boss, if you want to put something in fire, why don't you sacrifice a virgin?
Virgins, eh? We don't have them in the outback.
You know what we ought to do? We ought to slip into Uncle Neil's studio and get a few of those carts that you did earlier. And run some of those. Since he doesn't run them anymore, I mean, young Neil is so long. That's his complaint. Too long,
I'll tell you the complete story behind that at some future point in this broadcast.
That's great. We'll expect to hear that right at 3:05 after the news. All right. How'd you get into all this stuff? And why? Why would you?
How did I get into
it? Kids call all the time, how do we get into radio? And I say,
don't do it.
That's right. Be an insurance agent. Be a broker. Make a lot of money. Be a secretary. Make a lot of money. Have security.
That's right.
Be county manager.
Well,
get free suits.
Yeah. No, that's very true. I'm not kidding you. I wouldn't. It's a fun job. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I like doing what I'm doing, or I wouldn't do it. But I can't, in good conscience, recommend it for anybody who wants to settle down, stay in one place for any length of time, make any real money. I mean, it's just there's so many variables. Everything can be sailing along just great, and then they sell the station out from under you, or somebody else comes in and changes the format, and you're out of work, or any number of things. So it's not a business that if you've got creative talent, put it to use in some other area. Don't do this, please.
Come on, how did Jim Schulyer get involved in radio? Because everybody always asks me,
It was one of those radio accidents.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I thought I wanted to be a TV director. I found out in later life that I would never be able to handle the pressure and probably would have jumped off the Omni building.
That is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but that's originally what I thought when I got out of school. And since I couldn't get a job as one, I took the first broadcast-related job I could get, which was doing copy and traffic, which is basically 2 full-time jobs, except at this station it was 1 part-time job. And the longer I did that, thankless job for $80 a week,
But you had to write commercials, right?
I was writing
commercials. So that was
and
the creativity part, and you suddenly probably realized, hey, I can write some pretty funny stuff.
Well, it wasn't so much that. It was just seeing all the DJs, and they were making, upwards of $125 a week,
Wow.
And I was making 80, so I thought, well, geez, they're hardly working, and they're making big bucks, so I ought to do that.
Sitting there playing records and talking to chicks on the phone.
Yeah, getting dates and stuff. Boy. It sounded good to me, so.
Incredible.
I made the big switch.
Wow. Well, we'll find out more about why not to get into broadcasting when we come back after the news. Jim Schuyler of Hot 105 is here. Mark Moseley of what was that radio station? I don't remember. He's not here.
I have no idea.
But that's okay. Listen, folks, we're not going to rub it in. Tanner, it's okay. It's all right. You don't want Moseley to come over. I understand. Okay, that's all right. And we're going to see if we can sneak into Zeta and rip off some. After all, they should be they're your cards.
Like the ones where I pose as Ricky Ticky, the time Linda Thornton was substituting.
One, yeah. Frank Motek, the headlines, CBS News. We'll be back.
Then Stan Major.
This portion of Masterpiece Radio Theater is made possible by a grant from Big Bob's Weenie Farm. If it's a foot long, it's Big Bob's.
Hi, this is Charlie Barnett, the Noog Man from Miami Vice. Right now I'm on the Stan Major Show. Right, I'm on the Stan Major Show as Noogie, New Garden, Everly, Lamont, the Noog Man. But you ladies can call me Noogie as if you want a boogie. And I'm a homeboy. I used to hang in Opalaka. Here's my main man, Stan Major, from the Stan Major Show on WINZ. Go get him, Stan.
All right.
Who was that, Rick or Suds?
Yeah, right. Oh, that was the real guy, as a matter of fact. Why is that music in like that, John? Were you in a hurry? Just, like that. I never noticed that.
Don't give John a hard time.
No, I'm not giving him a hard time.
That's how it ends, pal. The CD ran out.
Oh, really? Okay. Whatever you say, John. If you'd like to talk to Schuyler from Hot 105.
And who wouldn't?
Yeah, right. 624-9400 in Dade, 524-9400 if you're in Broward. We ripped off the carts from Zeta.
Boy, that was,
that was an exciting experience.
Wasn't it, though? We made this raid during CBS News. It was great.
And I took my credit card, and I was in Neil's door just like that, man.
Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
And then the Zeta program manager, who's currently doing a program in the other studio, looked aghast at the two of us in Neil's studio ripping off carts.
He was aghast. In fact, he was one of the biggest ghasts I've ever seen.
He's okay. He's all right. But now I'm dropping my lower plate. I'm not functioning very well. I'm sure glad you're here today because...
well, it's a pleasure to be here under any circumstance, Dan. I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
No, that's okay. Listen, we'll turn you into a talk show host. You said you had some vast experience doing talk news.
Not vast, just real unpleasant. I worked for... I used to have John's job.
A board op?
Yeah.
You were a board op?
For what? Well,
now, that's how you can get into this business, kiddies. You become a board op, and then you become a superstar like Paul Lyle.
I worked for this small news talk station in Vero Beach. And I was more than a board op. I was also morning news anchor. But during the talk show, I was a board op. It was kind of a, you had to switch gears and become humble. And worked for this guy. He's probably still there. And this guy was about a day younger than dirt. And you talk about generic demographics, I think the median age in Vero Beach is deceased.
Yeah,
for openers.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, Al, you do such a good job. You're so wonderful.
That's right. I don't know who watches, what Major League team trains in Vero Beach?
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
Yeah,
it's
Dodger
just
town.
Amazing to me that they would train in an area where when you drive through, even in the winter, there's nobody living there.
Well, no, there's people there, but they're all, the people who are there are retired, and they got plenty of time to go out to the ballpark during spring training, so it actually works out pretty good. And Dodgertown's a beautiful facility. But anyway, the host finally went on vacation, so I got to fill in for him, and I thought, boy, this is my time. This is my big chance. This is my major market. Well, not major market.
Wait a minute. Now, let me ask you a question here.
What?
Did you get calls?
Very few.
Okay, well,
very few.
Look at
one stinking call.
Look at that. I've got between 20 and 25,000 people out there.
I mean, I prepared, I had topics, I was just, and 4 hours to fill. It was just murder.
Absolutely.
They used to call him quite regularly. It was the same 12 people, but at least they'd call him, but they heard a young voice in there.
I mean, I don't even get the regulars to call me regularly.
Boy, those old people just went south when it wasn't their regular guy. And it was just, I had a guy who ran a nude condominium over in Tampa.
Wow.
Or Lutz, or whatever it is, over there.
Lutz, yeah.
And
by USF.
And he was my big guest, and this was my big gun. I thought, people are going to be appalled to hear this guy, and they're going to be calling in.
This is the dirtiest, most disgusting, horrifying, terrible thing that's ever been perpetrated on the listening public.
Not one stinking call.
Listen,
he was a great guest. I wound up interviewing him. He was fascinating for 2 hours, but no calls.
No calls at all?
Oh, boy.
In Vero Beach?
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Incredible.
Finally,
sounds like my show in Miami.
I came down to about the last 45 minutes of the show, and I was so disgusted that I just sat there, and I took a deep breath, and I'd gone through everything that I had to say, and I started whistling Me and My Shadow. For about 3 minutes until somebody finally called, and the guy on the other side of the glass fell down.
Really?
He's gone mad.
I've got a Hooters loop here.
A Hooters loop?
Yeah,
well, that's my kind of loop.
Show, man. It just goes on forever.
This is good, for those awkward pauses in the conversation. If there's a lull at some point.
That's right. I mean, we can just play this underneath this for the whole show.
Because, Stan and I have never met, and when you meet someone for the first time, there's sometimes one of those embarrassing little lulls in the conversation, and we don't want to have dead air.
No, we don't want dead air on this radio station.
So.
Now, that doesn't do anything to our transmitter, does it? In television, it just blows them, man. If there's nothing on, if there's nothing on that screen, if they go dark in television and the transmitter's still on, the tubes start, it's like an earthquake. They start shaking like that. They've got to have something, They're not getting anything. It's like, somebody who's on crack cocaine, I guess. But I guess in radio, it doesn't make any difference if you take a long, pregnant pause like that.
I thought I heard something in Spanish.
I don't see our, machinery shaking up there or anything.
Oh.
If we have dead air for 15 seconds, all kinds of alarms go off. I won't do that to you, John. John, you're a friend of mine. Okay, you do good work, and I'm not going to do that to you. 15 seconds, huh? No, we won't do that. Sandy, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I was going to say, if you have Hooters Loop, that there's a urologist in Delray that can fix that.
Okay.
I was just going to ask Jim, is it hard being a second banana to a guy like Dan McKay?
Is it hard being a second banana? What kind of question is that?
No, he
especially
said,
after that disgusting comment.
Let me tell you what he said off the air. He said it's great.
Oh, he's very funny, but, it's sort of like Dan's show,
Well, it is Dan's show. It's McKay and the McMorning. That's the name of the show, and that's how they promote it,
Yeah.
But I was his second banana in Salt Lake City, too.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out fine, and I have no problem with that. For one thing,
Are you a Mormon?
Huh? Oh, no!
You're not a Mormon? How can you work in Salt Lake City and not be a Mormon?
Well, I wanted to find out what it's like to be a member of a minority group.
I thought they put that on your application, if you...
Well, it's a lot easier to get work if you're male and a Mormon in Salt Lake City, as my Catholic wife found out. But, no, it's beautiful country out there. It's God's country, and he can have it, as Groucho Marx once said. But, no, we worked together. We worked together in Salt Lake City, and, I don't know. Where is this going? I have no idea.
You're a second banana.
Is it hard to be a second banana? No, because, well, for one thing, when you're not the top dog, you can get up and go to the bathroom whenever you want to. I kind of like that freedom. And, wander around the hallway, and Dan looks like he's working the whole time, So it's pretty easy, and they pay me
enough,
semi-reasonable amount of money. It's nowhere near what I deserve, obviously, but they couldn't afford that.
How can you be funny that early in the morning, since I'm not a morning person?
It's sink or swim, you have to be funny.
What time do you actually get up?
I get up at usually around 3 o'clock. This morning I was up at 2:30. Because I wanted to be in there a half hour early to produce some stuff, and as it turned out, I couldn't find my car keys, and I was just right on time as usual. It was kind of a major blow-off for me. It's like, why did I get up so early? But because I have an hour and a half commute because I live in Palm Beach.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is. There's no two ways about that. But, you know, there aren't that many opportunities right in Palm Beach proper.
Sandy, do you like Hot 105 in the morning?
Oh, sure. It's the only station I listen to.
Really?
God bless you, Sandy. Are you a contest pig?
No.
No. Do you call our contests? Have we ever subjected you to that kind of humiliation?
Once in a while.
Have we? Did we make you break dishes or douse somebody with a cold can of beer or anything like that?
Oh, I've gotten crazy a couple times.
Well, what have you done, Sandy? I don't remember you. I usually remember a lot of the people who get into those contests.
Sang a rap song or...
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You had to sing a rap?
Yeah.
How did you do, Sandy?
Not too bad.
Did we give you a fabulous prize?
Oh, sure.
What did we give you?
Free records, I think.
Wow.
Ooh. Yeah.
Gee.
The thing about those free records is we get them free, too, so it's no skin off our nose.
Big FM station giving away records. Isn't that great?
Now, wait a minute. We've given away $105 at a clip. We've given away $1,000. And
well, you could have sent her a T-shirt and a bumper sticker.
Trips to England, to Wembley Stadium for the big rock
Oh,
fest.
don't start bragging now. We know all the FM stations have money to burn.
Well, that's right, yeah. You know, how else am I supposed to light my cigarettes if we didn't have money to burn, you know?
Okay, Sandy, nice to have you with us.
Hey, bye-bye.
Thank
okay,
you.
Sandy.
Bye.
Thanks.
Mobile.
Good afternoon, Stan.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. I just wanted to tell your guest that I wake up every morning to his show. My wife gets up quite early. She works for the Postal Service, and she has the station set on 105, so it blasts us out of the bed at about 365,000 decibels.
What time do you get up?
Well, it's normally right around 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Oh, my God. So you listen to Rockin' Scott Gables for a while and just wait breathlessly for us to come on.
Exactly.
You know, I'll tell you a little secret about Scott Gables. You know Scott Gables, the guy who actually wakes you up because you get up so early?
Uh-huh.
He does our overnights. Scott Gables' real name is Charlie Kendall.
Charlie Kendall.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little known fact.
That's similar to John Wayne's name, huh?
Something like that, yeah.
And Michael Morrison.
Gee, that's really interesting.
That went right over his head,
Yeah,
but he's
right.
a swell American anyway, and we're proud to call him one of our many listeners.
Does Kendall's wife work another one of your shifts under a different name, too?
No, we're going to have her doing middays, but as you know, we have no DJs from 9 to 5, so, and, you know, she's got that new baby to take care of, so.
Okay.
Anyway, keep up the good work, and we enjoy listening to you.
Well, thanks very much.
Okay?
Okay, take care.
Thank you. Gee, got a couple of calls. How about that?
See?
It's incredible.
See, you get the right guest.
FM listeners listening to this program. It's just I can't understand it. I don't know why they're doing it.
Well,
but
Mad
I'm
Mike
delighted
isn't
with
on
it.
yet, see? So
I
there's
see.
nothing to listen to yet.
All right, now, let's see. Dan was talking about the Neil Rogers disease, right?
Yeah, one of our series of diseases.
Yeah, right. Who else did you do diseases for?
Well, we did the auto tent sale announcer's disease. It's right there to your left.
Okay. I'll play
right
that
there to your
after
left.
this.
And that was actually the first in the series. So if you wanted to go chronologically, that might be a good place to start.
Who wants to go chronologically? Whoever said anything about going Whoever said about being organized on this
It's your
program?
show, Stan.
That's
Do what you
right.
want. I'm trying
Absolutely.
to help you out here, baby.
Alan Box was a normal man with a wife, lovely children, a faithful dog, and a chain of radio stations. Normal, that is, until 3 weeks ago.
Hi, honey. I'm home.
You're late, Alan. How was the traffic?
New cars, used cars, trucks, and vans.
Huh?
Alan Box is suffering from auto tent sale announcer's disease.
We're going out tonight, Alan. Do you want to take the Ford or the station wagon?
Ford, Chevy, Yugo, or Hyundai. Take your pick.
The babysitter wants to know how late we're going to be out.
Tell her till 9 p.m. Saturday and Sunday till 7.
Auto tent sale announcer's disease can strike anyone, young or old, rich or poor, hardtop or convertible.
You did stop by the bank, right? How much did you deposit?
$2,000. Huge savings at 3.9% financing.
Did you pay the electric bill?
No payments till 1989.
Huh?
Please, give whatever you can. Help us find a cure for auto tent sale announcer's disease.
Honey, it's Friday night. You know what that means.
The big tent is going up, up, up.
Please help.
Is that it?
That's it. And
Now, that was the first in a series?
That was the first in the series, and that one was produced at a cost of $2,000.
Why?
So, why? Well, I don't know. We had to fill the time. But there's just different.
Who came up with the idea?
Dan.
Really?
Yep.
Who comes up with the ideas, Dan or Jim?
Both. Sometimes he just says, like with Church of Larry, give me where we worship Larry Fine from the Three Stooges, and I take the ball and run with it. Sometimes I come up with them on my own. Sometimes, as a matter of fact, on Auto Tent Sale, we collaborated. We actually physically sat down, which we don't do very often, but we actually sat down in the office and went back
you guys
and forth.
are like the old guys who used to write music and lyrics.
No, it's more like it's like the old Dick Van Dyke Show, Rob Petrie and Buddy Sorrell, and I don't know which one of us gets to play Sally Rogers, but I guess that's kind of a toss-up.
Okay, let's play the Neil Rogers Disease.
Alan Box was a normal man with a wife, children, a summer home in Opelika, and a chain of radio stations. Well, normal that is until just 3 weeks ago.
Hi, honey. How was your day?
Unbelievable. Terminal. There's nothing but subhuman douchebags out there.
Alan Box is suffering from Neil Rogers disease.
Have you canceled the Miami Herald yet?
But, honey, we don't subscribe to the Herald.
Oh, now that's a cop-out. What kind of a lame excuse is that? Just say no to El Herald, sir.
Huh?
People afflicted with Neil Rogers disease have lost the ability to communicate like normal human beings.
What's the matter with you?
Blue-haired old bags from Pembroke Pines. You know, the yentas who say, "Oh, Neil, how can you say those nasty things?" Running around stealing sweet and low.
Can I get you anything?
How about those bag boys at Winn-Dixie? You know, it doesn't hurt to look. Incredible.
Neil Rogers disease, a growing South Florida epidemic. Please help us find a cure.
Honey, it's Friday night. You know what that means.
Hey, you know what I got? A 9. A 9! What's Lee Fowler got? 3 point something?
Send your tax-deductible contributions today in care of Hot 105.
Terminal. Unbelievable.
I like the way you got that little plug in there for Hot 105.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was
If
pretty...
you're going to send it over to him, you might as well, right?
And he played it quite a bit there when he was
did.
over on
He
this
played
side,
it
yeah.
a lot.
If I had known that was going to go on and on and on and get as much airplay as it has, I sure would have worked on his voice a little bit more. I captured the essence of the character, Stan. But
yes.
I didn't really get the vocal mannerism down.
But everybody loved it.
Well,
everybody.
I'm glad to hear it.
Tell us the story of young Neil.
Young Neil, I was saddled with the unwanted burden one day of having my kid accompany me to work. They had kind of a pop holiday at school because the Pope was in town. Oh. And my wife works and I work and the aunts and uncles all work and Grandma works and there was nobody to watch her. We didn't think to get anybody to sit her, so I had to bring her with me to Hot 105 one day. And she liked it. She wants to come back. When are you going to bring me to the radio station again, Dad? And I keep telling her when pigs fly because it's hard to keep a hyperactive 6-year-old occupied while you're trying to do a show. But we gave her some projects to do in the production room, and we put the headphones on and plugged her through the reverb so that it sounded like she was in a cave and stuff like that. And she had a lot of fun. She really. I'm trying to dissuade her from going into this business, but nevertheless. But she's a bright kid, and she learned to read when she was 3 years old. So I wrote out the script for young Neil, and I used some of the Neil mannerisms. I thought, wouldn't it be cute, since I did the Neil Rogers disease thing, to take him back in time to where he would have started out. And the only radio station I could find that was anywhere near Canandaigua that would have been on when he was 6 years old was WGVA in Geneva, New York. So I said, well, okay, so it's 30 miles away. He rides his bike in on Saturday. He does the show. And she was 5.5 at the time. She did, she's not a professional actress or anything, but, the fact that she could read and speak fairly well. We put it together, and she loves hearing it on the air.
Neil Rogers program on 1240 WGVA. Here again, America's youngest talk show host, 6-year-old Neil Rogers.
Okay, I guess we're done with mail. And there's 4 minutes left in the hour. So let's take some calls. Orleans, hello.
Yeah, Neil, how's it going?
Great.
That's good. Listen, I canceled my subscription to the Rochester Democrat and Chronicle.
Oh, the good old DNC. What an abortion that paper is.
Then I asked how many other people did likewise, and they said none of my business.
Yeah, well, they're real nice over there.
Okay, well, I just thought I'd let you know.
You're a fine American. Have a nice life. Waterloo, hello.
I want to speak to Neil.
You got him.
Am I on?
Yeah.
Neil.
Yeah.
Neil, you're a stinky, pinko, glue-sniffing bedwetter and a pansy.
Great call. Best of the day so far. Did he say pansy? Where does he get off? What a mung brain. I ride my bike 30 miles every Saturday to do this show, and this guy calls me names. Shame on you, sir. Shame on you. By the way, have you seen some of those bag boys at the new AMP? Now, what are you cackling about, eggs? Is this my son? A million producers in the world, and they stick me in here with an egg. Shut his mic off. Seneca Castle, hello.
Oh, Neil, you used to be such a nice boy, and now you're so terrible.
Yeah, but you can't shut it off. You can't shut it off. I don't need this. I have offers from other stations. Batavia, Elmira, Fredonia. But instead, I stay here and entertain you grotesque, subhuman doodlebags. Unbelievable. Geneva, hello.
Hello, is this Neil Rogers?
What kind of phone are you on, sir?
How's that again?
Do you have a dial phone or what?
No, I had to put it to the operator.
Well, let's not get into that.
Hey, I was listening to Joey Reynolds on WKBW last night.
Somebody has to.
Did you hear what he's been saying about you?
No, I don't listen anymore. He's a doddering old man.
He claims he's only 40.
Yeah, right. And Dewey beat Truman, too. Oh, shut up, Egg. You're pathetic. And if you think he's bad now, wait till he hatches. Oh, boy. Okay, when we come back, maybe the egg will come out of his shell. But I hope not.
How long did it take you to do that with your 6-year-old?
Well, her part of it didn't take very long at all. Like maybe 20 minutes or so.
Really?
And then I just spliced in all the calls. I was all the phone callers. And that took a while. So, I don't know, it probably took about 2 hours.
You're a talented guy.
Thanks, Stan.
You really are. Let's take a break here, and when we come back, we'll have some more.
Friends, this is the Reverend Billy Bob Bullion. Have you ever watched TV ministers like Jim Baker or Jimmy Swaggart and said to yourself, I wish I could be raking it in like that guy? Now you can. Thanks to the A.C. Nielsen Televangelist Institute, there's a simple home study course on audio cassette that'll have you holy rolling in dough in no time. Learn to develop a rich, commanding voice, how to negotiate satellite and TV contracts, how to live like a millionaire tax-free, and how to pick up fabulous babes. Hallelujah! People today want simple answers to complex questions. They want to be led by the hands so they don't have to think for themselves. And that's where you come in. Today's world scares the heaven out of people. And if they think you can save them, they'll gladly send you their life savings. If you think they're not that gullible, think again. They voted for Reagan twice. Remember, friends, the Bible says thou shalt not steal. But it don't say nothing about hoodwinking every cripple and little old lady in creation, now does it? So get on the self-righteous path today and find your way to tax-free wealth and fabulous babes. Don't delay. Order today. Here's how.
To order your TV Preacher Home Study Course, send $199.95 plus $1.50 shipping and handling to A.C. Nielsen Televangelist Institute, Box 24K, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Or call 1-800-LUKE-1945. That's 1-800-LUKE-1945. To become a fully ordained minister, add $2 extra.
Gotta love it. Now, is that you?
Yep. That's me.
That's you.
One of my many guises, Stan.
The Reverend Billy Bob. Can you say, tuck something in the envelope, friends?
Put something in the basket.
No, in the envelope and send it to Stan.
Ah, well, that's...
Hundreds.
Well, I'll be willing to say that for you, Stan, if I get a percentage,
What'd you think about this guy over in Dallas who did that? Was it Dallas?
Yeah, it was Dallas. I think it was John Lander, wasn't it, who did that?
Incredible. Didn't give any reason at all.
At one of those mini zoo shows, I
Yes,
understand.
right. If you heard one zoo show, you've heard them all.
Now, wait a minute. The show we did in Salt Lake was a zoo.
Oh,
Believe me, it was a zoo.
I thought that was in Philadelphia. Or maybe it was Chicago.
Well, it could have been anywhere.
Los
Could have been
Angeles.
Tampa. Could have been
Now, if a caller was out there, a caller who lived in several markets, and they were confused by this zoo thing, obviously they could call in to this show right now and ask you the question, how come there's a zoo in every market?
Isn't that
And
something?
obviously you'd have an answer.
There's a zoo in Stewart now. I mean, there is. I'm serious. It's one guy, but, it's still a zoo, so,
Could we call this? Well, we couldn't call this the zoo here because, Herman and McBean had the monkey. What could we have? A cat?
You're looking for some kind of
I think
mascot?
we need a mascot for this show.
You need a mascot for this show? How much does it pay?
I can't even get a sidekick.
94 Zoo wins. How about that? You could do that.
Oh, isn't there a zoo doesn't
In this
the
market?
identified as a zoo?
Huh?
GTR?
Do they do a zoo? Well, they have a gorilla.
It's a gorilla, but it doesn't have any. They don't call it. It's not a zoo.
No.
Now that thing is copyrighted, right?
The zoo? Yes,
thing?
it is. Eden's Broadcasting. I think. I don't think the one in Tampa was the first, but I think they have the copyright on it.
So I couldn't come on the air here, and do a zoo thing. And you couldn't do it over Hollywood.
Not without paying a substantial fee.
Mm-hmm.
But then you do get
for what? What do you get for
use
that?
of the name.
The use of the name zoo?
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the dictionary, for heaven's sake.
I know. Well, there you
How
go.
can you copyright a word?
Somehow they managed to do that. I don't know. That's pretty good. We ought to find some very common word and copyright it, like
freak
or song. Nobody on the radio could use the word song unless they paid us a fat fee. How about that?
That's great.
Got another idea for you, Stan. You want to make some money. What a lot of radio stations are doing, well, not a lot, but, a dozen or so around the country, and by this time next year, they'll all be doing it, is the radio station credit card. Have you heard about this? Mm-hmm. Where a radio station and a bank get together, and the radio station has its own credit card. I mean, and you can use it like a Visa or a MasterCard. Well, it is probably one or the other anyway. But it's got, the radio station logo on it, and you use it like you would use any credit card.
Yeah.
But you could do that, and you could call it the major credit card.
Wow.
And then see, it would be good everywhere, because all the commercials, like for Sears, all major credit cards accepted. They'd have to take it everywhere. Nobody could turn this down.
That's great. We give everybody $1 million limit.
Yeah.
That'd be fabulous.
I'll sign up.
All that
I'll
wealth
run it
that
up to the
you-
limit, too.
All that wealth you always wanted, right here on this show. Well, anyway, what have we got left? I got to use Glen Hill, okay?
Another
as
of
long as
our
we're in that vein.
Another of our many diseases.
Now, you did not do the National Audubon Society for the Bird, or
I don't know
whatever
who.
that
I don't know who did that. That wasn't us. I think that emanated from within.
You
this
do
building.
realize that from time to time it does get confusing after a while when you have stuff that's done in-house. You have ACN material that comes from Connecticut. You have stuff that Moseley has sent over, and stuff that you've sent over, and God knows where else some of the stuff comes. And after a while, it begins to boggle your mind a little bit as to who exactly did this.
Well, that's probably one of the advantages for you, Stan, of working for a non-profit organization. Everybody donates all this material to you, and that, it must be great.
Now, I have stuff in the cart rack here. I have no idea who did it. Like Hallandale Weiss. That's not ACN. Is that Moseley?
It must be Moseley. You don't remember? I think that was on the reel that he brought over last year when he did your show, unlike today.
No. Davy Weiss was on the reel.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but it's in the same vein, so this must be Moseley.
They're two Miami cops with a hot new beat. They're on the streets fighting crime.
Hey, Pops, that's a handicapped space there.
Yeah. In Hallandale Vice.
We got a problem. The Gray Gang is up to their little tricks.
Lieutenant, isn't that the group that went around trying to get the early bird special after 7?
Yeah, they're back in town.
Let's go get them.
They'll stop at nothing to clean up the streets.
Hey, lady, you can't cross here. You'll have to cross at the light.
And they're determined to clean up the smuggling business.
All right, sister, you're under arrest.
Oh, so now you're arresting my wife. What's the charge?
Possession of powder. Open that purse, Tubbs. Let's see that white stuff. Yeah, just a thought. She's got over 100 bags in here.
Of what?
Sweet and low. From that restaurant you just came out of. Let's take them in.
Yes, there come the hit Miami cops on a hot new beat in Allendale Vice. Premiering this fall on MBZ.
It must have been MJ.
MJ?
Yeah, Moseley Jr.
Moseley Jr. there? No, that's Moseley, and we slipped that in to make Tanner feel really twice as bad as he already feels for not letting Moseley come on the show.
Well, I don't know. He's keeping Mark in the shadows. You know, he's just not giving that boy enough recognition, and enough creative latitude, and certainly not enough money. Mark, if you're listening, we have several attractive air shifts that could be opening up real soon at Hot 105, and you know,
he can be my free sidekick anytime he wants to.
Free?
Yeah, we have no budget here for sidekicks.
Oh, well, forget it then. No way. A guy of his talent and ability, second only to my own, I don't think he'd do the show for free.
All right, here's the Glen Hill disease.
Peter Bolger was a normal man with a new bride, a lovely home, and a cushy, low-profile job. Normal, that is, until just 3 weeks ago.
Peter, is that you?
Of course.
How's the traffic?
Fine.
Peter Bolger is suffering from Glen Hill disease.
Our car insurance has been revoked, Peter. Are you okay, Peter?
Fine. Everything's fine. Just great.
Glen Hill disease is a nervous disorder, similar to Neil Rogers disease, but even more debilitating.
Petey Weedy, it's Friday night. You know what that means.
Call me Mr. Curious.
Oh, God, are you a man or a bird?
Don't let this pathetic creature become a bird brain. Send your contribution today and help us find a cure.
Oh, don't do that.
Why not?
We need the eggs.
It was in stereo, but it still worked.
Okay.
How about that?
Boy, oh boy, science and technology.
Absolutely.
Takes your breath away.
Playing a stereo chord on a monorail cart machine here. In mono. 624-9400 and Dade, 524-9400 if you'd like to talk to Skyler from Hot 105. And if you want to talk about the radio business in general, of course, I take my raps, I come down pretty hard on FM. I don't know how much you want to get into this, but I'm not talking about Hot 105 because your kind of music is a little different. But I'm talking about the GTRs, the She's, the Zetas, and a little bit of Waxy. And Y100.
You don't like their music?
I have a real problem with how they select their music down here. It's weird. It's very
how they
strange.
Select it.
Yeah, because I play a lot of stuff here that is never played on FM. For instance, the last time you heard the Eagles in 055, or Meatloaf in 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Something like that. When's the last? They're just records that are never, ever heard. It seems like all the consultants have decided, okay, these are the 300 records that are going to be played in the entire country. And those are the records that are played.
Yeah, I don't know why that is either. And I don't want to just pick on the ones that are here locally, because that's like that everywhere, you know? Don't hit the microphone, Stan. You're a consummate professional.
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. I'm really consummate today.
And, no, but it's like that. It's like that every place. And I can't explain it. I'm at a loss to explain
No, because I disagree with you. The music on FM in Philadelphia, the music on FM in Chicago, and even the music on FM in Phoenix is better than the music on FM in South Florida. I'm not going to harp on this because I know it puts you in a strange position because you are on Hot 105. But I don't want to, place you in a position where you got to defend all the music directors and program directors of all the FM stations in the market.
I wouldn't do that.
I just want your observations.
I wouldn't do that anyway, and I'm not even here to
You've been in other markets. You've been in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
How does Salt Lake FM radio stack up to Miami.
Well, for one thing, there's too many damn stations in Salt Lake, believe you me.
Really?
We have like 33 of them here.
Something like that.
We have like 43 of them there, and there's only 1.5 million people in the whole state.
That doesn't make much sense, does it?
I know. It's
Wow.
You try to make a living in radio in that town. It's pretty tough, you know.
Wow. How does any station make money? If there are that many stations.
A lot of them don't. I just saw a couple of stations that were sold just about the time I left that have been sold again, and they were both sold at a loss. You know, and most places, I mean, that's the way they really make the dough these days in radio, is by buying a radio station, building it up, and selling it, you know, a year or two down the road.
Yeah.
That's how they make their millions. It's none of this advertising stuff. That's
you notice how he
passe.
avoided talking about the music, friends?
No, I'll talk about the music. How's the music in Salt Lake? He asked me about a half an hour ago. Well, I don't know. When I was there, they only had one AOR station and another one came on. And it was pretty much like Zeta. It was classic rock.
What is classic rock, Jim?
What is classic rock?
Because if you come up with the answer, we may be able to make a lot of money by going up to the front of the building and telling them.
It's AOR Gold. That's basically it. Is anything that was really hot on AOR X number of years ago, depending on how far back in the past they want to go.
Well, see, now, that's not the way Neil defines classic gold.
No, I know that. Well, classic gold or classic rock?
Classic rock. That's not the way Neil defines it.
What's the stuff?
Because I would say that Lou Christie is not, and Lightning Strikes is not exactly an AOR Goldie.
No, I would say that classic rock is basically album cuts, and he's going for oldies, you know, things that were hit singles.
So, you know, I mean,
it's a little bit more nebulous.
Yeah.
Classic rock is a little bit more vague because you're going, you know, how far deep into the album do you want to go? You know, you go back to your old Billboard book and see how many copies of the album sold, but then which cuts do you play?
Yeah.
You know, so that's where it gets a little hazy, I think.
Yeah.
But he's playing, you know, he's going back to the Billboard book and looking up how many
top 40 hits.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't.
The kind of thing Magic's programming.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's
what
just
do you
a
think
label
of Magic?
anyway. Magic? I like oldies, and I confess I haven't listened to Magic very much because there's an AM station that I listen to when I want to hear oldies in Palm Beach, and so I have to plead ignorance with them.
What do you got on the push buttons of your car? Car radio.
I have such a crummy car radio that it doesn't have push buttons. It just has a dial. You just have to twist it.
You're kidding.
No. So, but what I listen to, you know, after doing 4 hours and working around Hot 105 for a couple of more hours every morning, I've heard all the hits, you know, and I'm not so radio intensive that I want to drive home and listen to that same kind of music. Not that it's bad or anything. It's just that I'm burnt out on it.
Yeah, right.
It was the same when I did AOR, you know.
Well, I get burnt out on radio, like when I go on vacation. I never turn it on. But I never pick up a newspaper either.
Yeah.
I mean, I want away from it.
You want to relax.
Yeah.
Sure. That's smart. Well, so I do. I listen to a lot of talk radio just because it's because it's a change of pace, and B, because I get ideas for material for the show. You know, what are people talking about? What's the big burning issue this
Oh, he's going to tell me he listens to my competitors then, because he sure doesn't get any burning issues off this show.
Not necessarily. I mean, you know, social, you know, what people are, you know, what malls do they go to? I mean, the light stuff is good, too, for that sort of thing, you know. Where do they go to pick up members of the opposite sex or the same sex if they're so inclined?
Have you found out?
No, but I mean, you know, that's why I listen to this show. So to find that kind of stuff out. But, you know, you don't have a lot of choices when you're driving in the morning. It's basically Craig Worthing or nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, you know, I hear some of that stuff, and I find out what old popular songs elderly people want to hear an organist play by listening to Craig. Craig reminds me very much of the young Katharine Hepburn. Have you ever noticed? Make someone happy, won't you, please?
Neil does a great Craig.
He does. He does the best.
And he does a good
Witchner
Witchner also.
Huh?
He does a good Witchner, Jerry Witchner.
Well, you have to hit yourself in the head with a ball-peen hammer, I think, to do Jerry Witchner effectively. I've been trying to get Craig's voice. I just can't do it. But Neil does a great Craig.
Stan.
We're talking to you, Stan.
Hey, Stan.
Hey.
Yeah.
Another great show.
Yes.
Isn't it, though? One for the time capsule, my friends, as Joe Franklin would say.
Yep, that's it.
We didn't even dump him. He was just, that was it. He was out of material.
That's an elderly gentleman who cannot understand how I can have a 5-0 in ratings 25 to 54.
And that's in Hawaii.
No, that's right here. Man, he doesn't understand that. Now, if you and I would have a contrived debate here on some issue, he'd be just, he'd have to run to the bathroom. He'd be so excited. You know?
Well, we could do that.
624-9400 and Dade, 524-9400 if you're in Broward. Let's take a break, John.
McKay T&T wants to know, are you lonely? Have trouble making new friends? Do you have difficulty socializing? Find it hard to form meaningful relationships? Well, so what? Who cares about meaningful relationships anyway? You just want to get your jollies, right? So, pick up the phone and dial 976... hey, wait a minute. What? This isn't one of those expensive 976 numbers with a bunch of guys waiting for a chick to call in, is it? No! At Satisfaction Phone, we always have one female operator on hand who's paid to sound like she's interested in lonely geeks like you.
So, what's your name, big boy? Oh, one at a time. One at a time.
So, what do you look like, honey?
Well, I'm naked.
Yes, with Satisfaction Phone, you can meet new people without ever having to actually deal with them. It doesn't matter who you are or what you look like. You can just lie about that stuff. So if you're lonely, simply pick up your instrument and dial Satisfaction Phone at 976. That's 976. Calls are $10.95 for the first 2 minutes, $7.95 every minute thereafter, plus line charges and long-distance toll, if any, plus applicable state and local tax. Batteries not included.
I love the restrictions, huh?
What restrictions?
Yeah, right. How about the restrictions on cheap airfares? You ever do anything about those? That's funny.
Yeah.
Your hair must be parted on the right. You must leave, you must wear a certain pair of shoes. You could do a whole thing on that.
We did a special...
I mean, it's like, anything they can do to keep from selling you that cheap ticket, they'll do it. Of course, they'll advertise it like that.
Yeah. Ever notice how rotten service has gotten since deregulation on airlines?
Don't talk to me about deregulation. We're still fighting the phone company. Oh, by the way, for you people that live in Broward County, let me do you a big service.
Here we go.
Absolutely.
Listen up.
If you're in Broward County... a great number of you, okay, not all of you in Broward County. I don't want to give them misinformation out on the air, but I'm holding in my hot little hand a phone number that should work for Southern Bell. It's 780-2355 to place an order. I'm doing this as a public nuisance to Southern Bell because if you dial up there, I wonder if you still get that. Wait a minute here. I don't know if I can get
Just hold on, Kenny and Dave. I know you're dying to talk to us.
Yeah, they'll hold on. I don't think I can get information on our local system, no. Our local system is great. It doesn't allow us to dial information. But anyway, yesterday on the show, remember I dialed up information, 411, out in the Plantation, Fort Lauderdale area, and asked for the customer service office for Southern Bell, and they gave me the number 497-8111, and I dialed it up all day. I dialed it from the house. I dialed it up here, and it was constantly busy. And basically, it was not a functioning telephone, okay? Which I thought was pretty funny since it was the phone company.
Yeah, itself,
right?
Yeah.
So they do have a new number, and it's 780-2355. And another number they have is 780-2200. Then they have an 800 number, 222-0300. Now, this all gets very confusing because it has something to do with the new area code up in your neck of the woods.
Uh-oh. You're going to blame this on me?
Yeah. We get really complicated, okay, as to what office is going to serve what area code and all that junk. And I would imagine that the only way to dope it out is to try to dial the number and see what you get. Because Southern Bell claims that the 497-8111 number will function from certain areas. But... Then
don't
again,
say what they are, though, do they?
Well,
Could they be less specific,
what can I say? Anyway, if you try to get through the phone company. Okay, let's take Kenny. How you doing, Kenny?
How you doing?
Okay, babe.
Stan, I would have to agree with you in your assessment of FM radio in this market. I have a preset home stereo in my, and it's amazing I can just punch it around. And, it's not that exciting at all. In fact, I found myself, for the last couple of years, listening less and less to music radio and doing other things, for that matter. Because, it's all the same.
Well, Skylar ought to like that because...
I love it, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did Kenny have so many arrows next to his name, John? This guy, get him out of here. What are you talking to me? Get him out of here.
No, come in. Now, we know that Hot 105 plays a lot of music in the morning, but you yourself are not a disc jockey.
No, thank God.
Such, okay?
I had the opportunity for the first time in a long time, about a couple of weeks ago, to listen to Hot 105 real closely.
What time?
It was late at night.
Uh-huh.
And while I've always had a preset on my stereo, I really, punch it up on occasion, but I have to say that I was impressed because unlike most of the, quote, CHRs in this market, it came closest to being a pure top 40 radio station. And as far as top 40 is concerned, I think there's some better ones, quite honestly, in the central or northern part of this state. They're much better than the ones down here.
Yeah, well, you've hit on some of what we're trying to do because the CHR music on our station is a little bit closer to what it's like in the rest of America, in that it's more of a variety. That's what CHR is supposed to be.
Right.
I think the closest CHR station, and everybody's going to jump down my throat when they hear this, is RMF in Palm Beach.
Oh, they're more adult contemporary, though.
See, I told you. He's jumping down my throat already. He's sitting here in the studio with me.
Right, more like Love 94.
Love 94?
No, they're not as soft as Love 94, but they're not as hard as Hot 105 either. They're a little. They would consider themselves to be an adult contemporary station.
I remember when I was down here in the late 70s, the only radio station that people listened to was Y100.
Yeah. Yeah, they were the big kahuna, with apologies to Roby Young.
With the exception of Zeta was, the AOR station.
Yeah, but you're right, Y100
you had to get stoned to listen to Zeta.
I wish that Zeta was more like the old Zeta, quite honestly.
Well, those days are gone for good, Kenny. You're living in the past, buckaroo.
That's true, but I think that in terms of...
everything was better in the old days, Kenny.
Oh,
Don't you get the concept?
Sure. Even sex, man.
In terms of classic rock, it will really be...
I mean, you're talking about dime phone calls and nickel newspapers. How far back you want to go?
No, I mean only in terms of the music itself, but in the true form of what Jim was talking about, classic AOR type cuts.
Okay, good to talk to you, Kenny. We're going to take a break for the 4 o'clock news with Frank Motek. We'll have the first traffic from Up the Plain with Alabrera. We'll be back on the major program on WINZ.
Get ready for the cruise of a lifetime. Cruising in your car with the Love Bugs.
Bugs, they're filling the air. Little horny bugs, pumping everywhere. Bugs, getting squashed on your car. And wherever you go, there those buggers are. The love bugs, buzzing around in a swarm of love. The love bugs wind up like bird droppings from above.
Yes, it's the Love Bugs. Splattering all over bug screens and windshields all over South Florida. So busy making love in midair, they never notice the oncoming traffic. Next thing you know, you're driving blind.
No, I can't see!
The Love Bugs. Watch every week as they cause death and dismemberment to dozens of fabulous guest stars. You won't know where you'll wind up when you cruise through that romantic crew called the Love Bugs.
The love bugs, so much more sexy than you or I.
radio show because I wouldn't understand it. But I understand it. It's adolescent, immature, intellectually unstimulating rubbish. So, crank it up! Rock and roll! Let's party!
Hello, I'm Frank Barfield. And that there's my partner, Earl James. And we've discovered a refreshing new radio program that you might like to try. It don't sound no better than any other, really. But since we've already convinced you to buy our cheap wine, we're betting we can get you to try some of this here tasteless stuff, too. So, thank you once again for your support. Hush up, Earl, and turn on the radio.
From Carroll City, it's the Stan Major Show. Today, old Stan reveals what it's really like for an Illinois farm boy to come to the Magic City, get married, and settle down. Stan will tell you he's given up on trolling for Twinkies at the shopping mall. Now he trolls for cotton candy for the family at Disney on Ice. Disney on Ice? Stan Major went to Disney on Ice? And later in the show, technicians from the Underwriters Laboratory stop by to award Stan his own UL listing now that he's been certified safe from shock. And by the way, as a public service, today's show is being recorded before a live studio audience of senior citizens, and they all got in for free.
Will our senior citizens be able to go into the museum without paying a fee?
And now the man whom Good Housekeeping says should get their seal of removal, Stanley T. Major.
Who are you kidding? Where's your buddy? Now, what's this about the Guinness Book of World Records?
You're going to be in it, Stan. It's 2 hours into the show, and you've just done the open. That means you've done the longest monologue in broadcasting history.
Absolutely. Well, the open comes at very strange times in the show.
No, I used to be in there. We did a thing. I was morning man and program director of a small FM station.
You hear the way he says that, kids? That's the way you should talk if you want to be in management.
Yeah.
You'll never be on the air.
No, but you have to talk like you think you're important, see. So anyway, no, I was program director and morning man at a small FM station in Palm Beach County.
Put a suit and tie on, man. They know you're in management just like that.
And
or sales.
Broke the record for the world's longest kiss. We had...
you and another guy?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, me and
somebody who was
reasonable facsimile of a woman. No, well, I wasn't married then.
Oh, I see.
But, no...
Being your wife?
No, thank God, no.
I mean, you had to kiss a pig for 4 hours?
No, she wasn't a pig. She was a perfectly nice person, but
how long
not
did
somebody
this,
I'd want to marry.
Huh? How long did this alleged kiss last?
This alleged kiss lasted 5 days, 12 hours, and 2 minutes, as I recall, and it was the Guinness World Record for about 4 years.
How did you eat?
Well, you're allowed 5-minute breaks.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And you're also allowed to save them up. So if we went for 2 hours straight, we could take 10 minutes off and scarf something down.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But we raised like $2,500 for Jerry's kids, and you know, it was kind of a neat little promotion. It was around it was 1980, and it was around the time of the Winter Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Big Kiss Off, and that was a prophetic name that I came up with that promotion because shortly after that I left the station. I quit in disgust. They did a few things behind my back.
After that kiss, I don't blame you. That's pretty disgusting.
Well, I was out of the office for a week, you know, and because I had this other thing to do, and
somebody else came in and kissed her?
No, they basically kissed me off, is what they did, or something that sounds a lot like that.
Well, it sounds like Channel 7. Never take a vacation if you work at Channel 7.
But I'm permanently enshrined in the Gatlinburg, Tennessee Guinness Book of World Records Hall of Fame.
You think this guy Dave is held on long enough?
I think so. I definitely think.
No, let's make him hold on for a little while.
But
he must have something really important to say.
Let's try him. Dave, wake up, dude.
Hey, what's up?
How are you, Dave?
Okay, how about you?
Okay, say hello to Big Jim.
Hey, Big Jim.
Hey, Dave.
Question.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Zeta, how's their ratings other than Neil?
What's your next question?
They're not bad, are they? They're not terrible.
What about the inevitability of Stan going over to Zeta, for Zeta being Talk FM?
I think Stan ought to play music. You could do afternoons on the FM and play music. And if they would let Stan play the music that he wants to play.
What happened to Lee Gillette?
Oh, it was a close shave.
Lee went up to wonderful, to your stomping grounds up there, West Palm, right?
No, that was Lee Fowler.
That
was Lee Fowler,
I get my
Stan.
Lee. I'm sick. I'm ill, all right?
What do you think?
I had
Let's
the
take a
flu.
poll.
Right.
Question.
Yeah, right. Lee Gillette was out here visiting about a week and a half ago and said hello. I think he's going to some ridiculous place.
Out in the middle of nowhere?
Someplace strange.
He'll run into Joey. What happened to the rumors?
Now cut that out.
Where do you think Joey is, Dave?
Who I think Joey is?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Is he sleeping on the beach, maybe?
No.
That could be, since there's not much beach, in Buffalo.
Joey's trying to line up another big-time shot at stardom, and he'll probably be back in town before you know it. He may not be working in town, but he'll be back in town. And Joey gave me a break real early in my career, and I'm one of the vast minority of people in this town who think he's a swell person. Joey's all right.
I'm not ripping him. It's just his show.
Oh, come on, rip him.
No.
Kick a guy when he's down. Come on.
This is the contrived.
That's the way South Florida is. Kick them when they're down, man.
I heard Al Rantel was supposed to go over to Life to be their morning.
It's about time he came to life, don't you think so?
Boy, it's an incredible rumor.
The rumor of She becoming like a heavy metal station.
Well, they might as well. They're not getting anywhere with the crap they're playing.
You're right.
I heard that rumor about a month ago, but there hasn't been any movement in that.
Well, why play the same thing that, another radio station is doing more successfully? It doesn't make any sense. Why do you want to be second banana? I should ask you.
There was a station out of Buffalo for a while, WUWU, and they had like an amazing signal. It went all the way to Syracuse, over Rochester and all the way out to Syracuse. And
That's W quadruple U, isn't it?
Woo-woo is what it was.
Woo-woo.
Went off the air real fast. They got in a lot of trouble there. One of their DJs had a nervous breakdown on the air, and he locked himself in the studio and he played the same song over, like some Lawrence Welk song.
Oh, no. That's phony baloney malarkey. That's the oldest trick in the book.
That happens in
isn't it?
every market.
Yeah, somebody always pretends to have a nervous breakdown and locks himself in the control room and plays the same song over and over. It's just a cheap way of getting headlines. Why the hell haven't we thought of that?
In Philadelphia, as recent as about 5 years ago, a guy did that in Philly. But the funny thing about it is he did get fired.
Well, this station was off the air real fast.
Yeah, he did get fired, not right after the thing, but this guy was kind of Looney Tunes. If Joey's listening, he knows who it is, and he can call in and tell us.
Their signal in their tower or something was illegal, and the FCC gave him the boot.
Who did something illegal? Dave?
That station, Woo Woo.
Oh, Woo Woo.
Woo Woo.
No, the commission doesn't give anybody the boot, okay?
No?
No, the commission doesn't have anything to do with that. That's a management decision. Yeah.
The FCC doesn't do anything.
No, the FCC doesn't do anything.
Anymore, no. Everything's deregulated.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Listen, if a guy like Howard Stern can get away with a slap on the wrist like he got.
They don't care if your signal bleeds onto other stations.
Oh, they do, yeah. They'll fine you. Yeah, they're going to fine you.
That's what they were doing. Their signal was like way too powerful.
Yeah, well, then you get fined for that. Of course, if this place had a legitimate license in the first place.
That I don't know. They played some really weird music. It was like punk rock, progressive. I mean, way off the wall.
I thought the funniest thing that's happened in broadcasting in recent years is the kid that started the radio station off New York City in the boat.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was great, man. I mean, I wish he'd have had money to fight it, because I think that, I think there must be some kind of world law I mean, how can the United States of America say that let's say that we weren't United States citizens, okay? We were citizens of Monaco, and we never lived in the United States, and we bought a boat, and the boat happened to have a radio station on it, and so we decided we would camp off Manhattan about 50 miles. We never came in to the United States of America. We were never in U.S. water. How could the United States government then force us off the air? we're out there in in the Atlantic Ocean, broadcasting.
We're doing that to Cuba, and they're doing that to us, right? Broadcasting.
That's a little different, That's all propaganda crap.
Oh, I mean, but it's okay for the U.S. government to blast their radio and to send another country, but it's not okay for somebody else to do it here, I guess.
Well, I kind of...
what I'm saying?
I have reservations about, the U.S. government being able to send a... I just never thought that they could do anything with regard to somebody who was more than, 10 or 20 miles out the limit.
Uh-huh.
Okay, good to talk to you, Dave.
Later.
See, wasn't that worth holding on for?
Oh, yeah.
We needed that nap
Pretty
anyway,
enlightening,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that's been pretty big in Europe, broadcasting from a ship. I know a guy who did that. I worked with a guy from England who did that for a long time. And that's really big over there because until recent years, they didn't really have any commercial broadcasting over there. And they didn't have a lot of, it was government-run, owned and operated.
Yeah, they used to have 2 or 3 ships out there. They don't now. I don't know how many they have. But I always wanted to work on one of those things until I started seeing pictures of them, especially video. Because that weather is not the greatest in the world.
No, pretty grim from what this guy was telling me. Get out there in a storm, and of course you have to stay shipboard for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
You have to have the hookers flown in. All right, we'll take a break here and find out about the traffic and be back.
Now, another episode of Bobby Brantley, Lieutenant Governor. Yes, it's Bobby Brantley, the second most powerful man in Florida. As our story opens, our hero is summoned to the office of Governor Bob Martinez.
Brantley, I have to admit I've made a mess of this office.
Oh, come on now, Governor. You haven't done that bad of a job.
I'm not talking about my performance. I'm talking about this room. There's papers and beer cans and pizza boxes all over the place. That's where you come in, Brantley. I want you to take out the trash.
How's that again?
I said I want you to take out the trash.
Well,
no,
all right,
Brantley.
For a little guy, you sure are heavy.
Put me down, you moron. Let me clarify this here assignment. When I say take out the trash, I mean I want you to remove everything from this room that is dirty, old, and useless.
Have it your way, Governor.
Brantley, cut it out. Put me down. Brantley.
And so, as our intrepid hero struggles to deposit our diminutive state leader in the dumpster, we Floridians can be proud, knowing our future is in the hands of Bobby Brantley, Lieutenant Governor.
I got a great way to get rid of Martinez.
How's that?
Graham becomes vice president.
Yes, and?
And Martinez will have a little chat with whoever is second in command. I don't know who that is at this stage.
What, second in command as far as what?
Governor, Lieutenant Governor.
Bobby Brantley.
So is Brantley. So Brantley would become governor. Martinez will quit, will resign. Brantley will name him to fill Graham's unexpired slot because there's no election.
Mm-hmm.
So Martinez goes to Washington, we're rid of him. Then you got Brantley.
But he goes to Washington and does what? That's the thing.
Who cares? We get him out of the state of Florida. And then we can pay to make sure that he doesn't come back.
But Graham won't do that because they're different parties. Martinez is
doesn't make any difference. If Graham becomes vice president, he has to give up his Senate seat. It's a Republican governor. It'll be a Republican senator.
Maybe you could appoint him ambassador to some real hellhole.
That could be, yeah. If Dukakis gets in and he hates Martinez that bad, maybe he could appoint him to be our new ambassador to Havana. No, but I think it's very logical that Dukakis could pick Graham.
Sure.
Now, if Graham runs, he doesn't have to give up his Senate seat, but if he wins, he has to give it up. And I don't see Bush beating Dukakis. So that means that there would be an appointed U.S. senator, and that senator would be appointed by a Republican governor. So you'd have, you got two new senators in the state of Florida. So think about it. You know? So you'd be Governor Brantley appointing Senator Martinez.
Interesting theory.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Actually,
I thought you didn't do topics on this show. What happened to that theory?
No, it's just a theory.
It's just a theory.
Yeah, it's just
purely
a theory.
theoretical.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Or it might be another way for Ruben Askew to get back in.
No, he doesn't want back in.
No, he doesn't want to raise cash. This is an easy way. He doesn't have to run.
That's true. He'll just be appointed. That's pretty simple.
Okay, anybody wants to talk about anything, Skyler's here. And we're going to turn him into my sidekick yet. 624. Well, you're second banana, so what's the, what's
the only thing holding me up, Stan, is the matter of money. You said something earlier about it being free.
Yeah, right. We have a Wonder mug for you.
Oh, Wonder mug!
Right.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
624-9400 in Dade, 524-9400 if you're in Broward. Whatever you'd like to talk about. Now, you were telling me off the air that you went through the Lamaze thing.
Lamaze, yes, that's where you have the baby in the car.
Yeah.
No, it's Lamaze.
Oh, Lamaze.
Yeah, no, Lamaze. I used to have a Pontiac Lamaze, as a matter of fact.
Well, we are going to have the baby in a car because we live in Plantation, and her gynecologist is at Hollywood Memorial. Now, that's got to be about, even if you're breaking the speed limit, it's going to be about 20 minutes, right?
It's a haul.
So it's going to be like our baby's obviously going to be born on I-75.
And you're going to have to know what to do.
Absolutely. And I can't take it, man.
No, we've had 2 kids, and I was coaching both births, and it's fine. Stan is like, I don't know, I'm going to faint. No. Come on, a big, strong, macho guy like you, Stan. Buck up, will you? It's going to be fine. Take the class. Really, at least you'll have a better grip. Has she gotten hormonal on you? I don't mean to be too personal, but
what does that mean?
Pregnant women get a little bit whiffy. They just they get
a
little emotional.
Whiffy?
They get a little emotional. Well, they get.
She gets hungry.
Well, that's normal, but they get a little high strung.
Yeah.
They these big mood swings and all this, and
Lori's been very good.
Well, so far, she's only how far along?
Well, she's a baby in November, late November.
Well, yeah, you'll see. You'll thank me for this warning.
I have a lot of things to look forward to.
But take the class, really, seriously, because then you can be there and you'll put on the cap and gown and the green smock.
Do you get to keep those things, by the way?
You get to keep the cap and the mask. They make you give the smock back. But you're there when the baby is born. That's really a neat thing. We've done that twice with both our little girls. One's 6.5 and one's 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And
2 girls.
Yeah.
Huh? What did you name them?
I don't want to get into that. Muggsy and Moron.
But not Jennifer? You don't have a Jennifer?
No, we don't have a Jennifer.
That's incredible in this day and age.
I know. Well, we did that on purpose. No, they have perfectly lovely names, but that's been a private matter.
Oh, okay. Well, we won't get into that.
Because,
Hello? Yes.
Hi, hello, my friend.
How you doing out, my friend?
Listen, Ed, I was wondering when you were going to call, my friend.
105, is that their guest today?
Oh, say what? Turn up the monitor there, Stan. I can't hear the guy. What was going on, Ed?
Well, I don't know. I know you had the Trotskys yesterday afternoon, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I had a bad case.
Down here a little bit there. I know you're under the weather, so I didn't bother calling you.
Well, some stogies, Ed, it'll do it to you.
Okay, stay away from those health restaurants, will you, please?
Yeah, so Ed, you listen to Hot 105 in the morning there, my friend?
I beg your pardon?
You ever listen to Hot 105 in the morning there, my friend?
No, I don't.
You really should, straighten your out.
I don't need to be straightened out. I'm okay.
Well, that's a matter of opinion. Maybe we'll take a poll on there later.
Yeah, well, I'm taking a poll and see how you're doing today.
Well, why don't you take a pole and drive it into the ground and build a fence?
I can't do that.
Oh, why is that, Ed?
I just can't do it.
You can't do it? You haven't got the physical strength? Is that a problem?
That might be one reason. You never know.
Ed, there's a theory going around that you're really Jim Carter. That has serious brain damage.
I wouldn't be Jim Carter if you gave me $1 million.
Ed, there's $1 million in it if you go around saying you're Jimmy Carter.
I'm afraid not.
Well, Hot 105 will put you up to it. We'll stake it to you. We got a lot of money over there.
Yeah, well, my name's not Carter. I'm sorry to tell you.
How about, you could be, you could be Johnny, or you could be Roseanne Carter Cash.
I beg your pardon? No, I'm not him either.
Huh?
I'm just Ed. I'm just plain Ed.
Just plain Ed.
Uh-huh.
That was a radio serial many years ago back in the 40s, Ed. Just plain Ed. It was right on after One Man's Family.
You remember Just Plain Bill?
I remember Just Plain Bill, yeah.
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 You remember just...
I got one in the mail just the other day. It was just plain bill.
Yeah, well, what did it have on you, John Hancock?
No, it said, this is your final notice pay up, sucker. In the midday, you know. But it's a long commute. I got to do something, and...
Oh, jeez. Too bad I don't feel good, because I would have enjoyed that. But I'm coughing instead of laughing. It's horrible.
Now, did Ed ever catch wise that he wasn't talking to you?
No.
Well,
I think
great.
he did eventually.
This is great.
Eddie.
How are you?
How are you?
My hat's off to John. He knew exactly who I was when I called in.
Mm-hmm.
And we got double congratulations, you and me, Stan.
How's that?
My wife's expecting in late November also.
Great.
Yeah, I just thought I was looking at my calendar in the car at a light. The ultrasound they're doing is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So you and me, I mean, I'm going to wing it with the Lamaze. I may faint, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I know.
Stan is doing the LeMans method, though, if you were paying attention. He's going to run right out and buy a Pontiac, and they're going to have the baby in the trunk.
Over. No, we're going to do the Mercury method.
The Mercury method?
This thing's as big as a hospital bed. I could save a couple bucks, you know.
And then you can clean it off with some Comet, probably.
Yeah, what the heck?
Huge Mercury.
But congratulations, Stan.
Thank you.
I thought that was odd. I never thought when I called in before to tell you that.
Well, we'll have a race and see who has
We'll
baby
have a
first.
race.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let me get going here. I'm on A1A, and the people are out.
All righty.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Take care.
624-9400 in Dade, 524-9400 if you're in Broward. We'll break and be right back after the traffic from Alabama. Don't go away.
They're back, and the streets are no longer safe. The Snowbirds. Clogging the highways, speeding through school zones, crowding into Denny's for the early bird special. The Snowbirds. They descend upon sleepy seaside towns and turn pristine beaches into waterfront dumps. They change winding two-lane roads into drag strips and six-lane interstate highways into parking lots. They crowd into taverns, drink like fish, and forget to tip. The Snowbirds. You'll do anything to try to avoid them. You'd even pay state income tax. But try as you may, there's no escape from the Snowbirds. The Snowbirds. A story so real, you'll feel like you're actually there. Because you are. The Snowbirds. Starring Red Buttons as Bob Martinez, Burt Reynolds as Mickey Mouse, and Bob Weaver as Flipper. Rated G-Wiz. Everyone admitted. The Snowbirds. When the snow comes down, the rent goes up.
That's cute. Mobile.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
What's up, Mobile?
Is Skylar there?
Speaking.
Skylar, hi.
Mobile.
Listen, are you the guy that I saw in the Ripley's Believe It or Not kissing some woman for about 5 minutes? Is that a record or something?
No, that was in Madame Tussauds. I was kissing a wax figure of Valerie Bertinelli. I couldn't help myself.
Is that really you?
No, that was really me. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I was in the Guinness Book for a while until they broke that record.
Oh, they did break that.
Yeah, the Guinness. It must be the Guinness Book Museum. Where is that? Tennessee, someplace?
Yeah, out in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Yeah, I heard
Gatlinburg.
Woo-wee.
Boy, if I won the $4 million, $12 million lotto, that's where I'd go spend my vacation.
I understand the roads lead in, but they don't lead out.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of like a tourist motel, like a roach trap or
Yeah,
something.
it's like Winnebago heaven or something.
Is it?
Yeah, I fit in real well over there.
Yeah, they didn't change the display, but I'm not in the book anymore. If you get an old copy of the book at like a used bookstore or something, you'll find my name.
Yeah, well, I heard you on the radio, and I wasn't sure. I thought maybe it was the same guy.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been trying to kiss me on the lips ever since he came in.
No, a little peck on the cheek maybe, but then, that's it.
Well, maybe you guys should try and set a new record.
Okay, we'll work on it.
Ooh.
All right. Have a good one.
What a gruesome thought. Thanks for calling.
Absolutely. Now, tell me about the baby. Did your wife, she didn't have the baby in the car or anything like that?
No. No.
Did you have far to drive?
Yeah, we did have far to drive.
Really? Tell me about that, because, see, that bothers me, from Plantation to Hollywood.
Yeah, well, we live in West Palm Beach, and we had, 6 years ago when we had the first one, we were living up in the Stewart area. We lived in Port St. Lucie, home of the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
And so driving to Martin Memorial Hospital in Stewart was no big deal. But my sister-in-law is a nurse there, and my wife thought it'd be real neat if my sister-in-law could be present for the second one. It'd be reassuring to her.
Mm-hmm.
So this time we had to drive from West Palm Beach to Stewart, which is, even though they finished I-95 through that area, it's still a long drive.
Yeah.
It's about 50 minutes.
So I was sweating bullets on that drive. And, you know, trying to drive and time contractions in your head, because you can't look at your watch while you're driving.
Yeah.
At midnight, but the second one goes real fast. The second one, we got to the hospital about 1:15, had the baby at 2:45, so an hour and a half. Zoom.
Just like that.
Yeah. But she was there. My sister-in-law's some high mucky-muck of nurses. Not merely a nurse, but head of the floor or something like that. Head of the wall or the ceiling or something like that.
Impressive, anyway.
Yeah.
That's great. Mobile.
Yeah, Stanley, how are you today?
Okay.
Listen, my wife's due in about 3 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and I live 26 miles. I'll just tell you a quick story. I live in Miami. Our first child was born at Baptist Hospital. At 5 o'clock, she called me on the phone. She says, I'm at Baptist. I think I'm about to give birth. And I made it from Miami to Baptist in 18 minutes, praying that the police would stop me to get some sort of escort. I went up the long way in on the Meridian. Nobody stopped me. I finally got to Baptist, and thank God the baby was there. And I watched it, too. I was there for the Lamaze training.
Really?
It was outrageous. I'm telling you, it was the most exciting thing to see my daughter being born. In fact, I even brought a camera, and I took pictures of it. Because this time I told my wife I wanted to video it, and she freaked out.
Now, did you take pictures of the actual birth or right after?
Oh, right at the actual birth itself.
Oh, well, see, now that's where I draw the line. I know a lot of people do that, but we took pictures immediately after.
I was so excited.
You show them at parties, do you?
Excuse me.
It's kind of like a grand opening, isn't it?
In fact, I even rent them out to prospective fathers. Anyway, good luck with your kid, and I'll tell you, go through the class. It's well worth it.
It is.
I agree. Thank you. I have a theory about that with regard to the police. Like when they're never around when you need them, but they're always around when you don't want them.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're going 37 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone at 2:30 in the morning, you're going to get stopped, okay? But if you're going 120 in that same 35-mile-an-hour zone in an emergency, there's never a cop around to help you. They won't be around. They're all at the donut shop.
That's right. Well, it depends on the time of the month, too. If you ever notice, I've noticed this commuting on 95 every day, that at the end of the month, like the last 5 days of the month, they spend the first 25 days of the month at the donut shop, and the last 5 trying to make their quota. They're out there in force the last 5 days of the month.
So this is a bad day, this being the 28th. Yeah, everybody should drive carefully.
That's right.
Okay? Take a hint from Schuyler of Hot 105. Drive carefully if you're out there, because he thinks all the cops are trying to get their quota in the last few days of this month. Dave.
Hey, Stanley T.
How are you?
How you doing, sir?
Great.
Yeah, I agree on the donut shops. Every time I drive by a Dunkin' Donut, you see at least 3 cars. At least 3 cops.
Yeah, it's like a convention.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I got a question for you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, in the back of the TV book from the News and Sentinel, how come you're not listed?
I don't know, Schuyler. How come you're not listed?
Now, which one of us isn't listed?
How come Stanley's not listed?
Oh, they don't.
I knew it.
Because I'm not in Palm Beach.
Well, I mean, they even got Lee Fowler in there already.
Of course, he's at J&O. You don't understand that.
Lee is a local guy now, see?
Yeah. You don't understand that.
As a matter of fact, you know, J&O went off the air the other afternoon, but you could still hear Lee. It's pretty amazing. He's a loud guy.
Yeah, well, you know, and they even still have Neil listed in Saturday, and he's complained about that over and over on the air.
This is the TV Post, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the back of the News and Sentinel TV Guide thing. And Stanley T's not. The only thing from WINZ is Jay's show.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. And then there's not even the guy who's after you on Saturday.
Yeah.
With the home show, you know? And I can't understand how come you're not in here, because, of course, you're the best show on the air.
Of course.
Of course. So, I mean, you know, you got any idea?
No, it's just that there's nobody at the Sun Sentinel or the Fort Lauderdale News who knows anything about radio. Right?
Oh.
I mean, Jicka doesn't put me in his TV thing either.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
That's true of a lot of...
I will say one thing about Jicka. He's not kicking me when I'm down, but he certainly does kick me while I'm up. You know?
It's true of a lot of the print media that, with just a few exceptions, when they send a report, I don't know, maybe it's like this in other businesses too, and I just don't realize it, but so much of the stuff I read in print about various radio shows and stations, it's just embarrassingly dumb.
Oh, come on. They had
really
a reporter,
is.
Linda Thornton.
Now, she was good.
Over at Magic. Was a very good radio reporter.
She was good, and she's one of the exceptions I'd make. But, I mean, you know, you open South Florida Magazine or some of the other people from the newspapers.
They know nothing about it.
Nothing about it. No clue.
No.
And they have completely the wrong format for the station. They have no idea what the music is like. They refer to talk show hosts as disc jockeys regularly.
Yeah, right. Well, anyway, what can I tell you? We're going to take a break here. We'll be back with Schuyler from Hot 105 on the major program on WINZ.
Alan Box was a normal, everyday guy with a wife, children, and a modest radio empire. Normal, that is, until just 3 weeks ago.
Hi, honey. How was your day?
It was okay, I guess.
I made your favorite for dinner, Alan. Meatloaf.
Get real.
Alan Box is suffering from Drew Barrymore disease.
How was the traffic, Alan?
It sucks.
You seem different tonight. Are you feeling all right?
Get real.
Drew Barrymore disease attacks the central nervous system, causing normal adults to talk like precocious Hollywood child actors.
Can I get you anything?
I want a lawyer.
Please help prevent this needless tragedy. Send what you can today in care of Hot 105.
Honey, it's Friday night. You know what that means.
Irreconcilable differences.
Help fight Drew Barrymore disease. Remember,
it sucks.
Won't hear that on Hot 105.
And with good reason. Just a little... well, I don't know. No, you're wrong. You were saying, well, you know, you don't play that kind of stuff. Well, we play, like, White Snake and White Lion and all those white groups. No. Along with all the other stuff that you hear on the air in Miami, every place else. You know, we play a variety. We got a lot of...
Madonna.
Well, sure, we play Madonna. She's, you know, very popular. And, you know, we got...
you play Miami Sound Machine? Gloria Estefan?
Of course. It's a state law now. You know?
Oh,
you have to play them.
I see.
You have to play them.
Okay.
Even in Tallahassee, you have to play them.
Richard. Hey, Richard.
Yeah.
Wake up.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I just got home from work. I was just listening.
Yeah, those quick naps will take care of you.
And, you just doze right off, man.
Absolutely. I don't blame you.
I'm sorry. Really, I don't listen to Hot 105 too much myself.
Shame on you, Richard.
I'm, more of a metalhead myself. I'm one of Stan's pinheads.
Well, if you're going to be a pinhead, it's best to be made of metal.
He slept through the last record. That's so much he's into it.
Oh, we played a record?
Thanks a lot, Richard. That's all right.
Richard, you're right on top of it. It's good to see you're a discriminating radio listener.
Well, it's not that I don't dislike your music or anything like what you guys play. It's just it's kind of kiddish sounding to me. I don't, you know what I mean?
How old are you, Richard?
I'm 19.
Oh, well, I understand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, gee, golly.
Guy's mature,
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, what is your demographic? I mean, like, what's your average demographic?
Cradle to grave.
Where?
Cradle to grave. No, I'm very serious. We have. I mean, if you're talking about their target demographic, it would probably be. I don't know. I don't want to speak for programming because that's not my department. But
it would be whatever we have on this show.
Oh,
which sticks them off that there's so many of those 18 to 34
I know my boss
listeners.
listens to you, and she's like 28, 30 years old and stuff. And I know a lot of older people do listen to you because I don't know. You're a little bit mellower, and I guess you play different music.
We're mellow?
Huh?
Are you talking about Hot 105?
Yeah.
Being mellow?
Well, I guess she seems to, she's not really into that.
Compared to the dead puppies, yeah. But, I mean, geez, we...
What does she smoke before she listens to the radio?
She doesn't smoke anything. She's like a real straight lady.
Wow.
Now, me, on the other hand...
Well, that's her problem. She ought to light up a joint before she tries to listen to Hot 105. She'd enjoy it a lot more.
She'd probably...
Just a joke, Schuyler.
Right, I bet. But...
That's okay.
I don't think I could ever get her to do that. But, what I'm waiting for...
You know how this guy is different from Mark Moseley? Moseley does characters that you recognize, like Don Johnson.
Right.
But Schuyler just does characters, right?
No one even knows.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
you don't do any
types. Right?
You don't do impressions.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Moseley does a lot of impressions.
And some pretty good ones.
Oh, he does some great ones. Too bad he couldn't be on the show today.
If he's going to do impressions, I figure, he could do like famous radio announcers on the air in Miami early morning. Can he do Neil Rogers?
No, I think
Nobody has ever been able to do Neil.
I think there's ample evidence of the fact that I cannot imitate Neil Rogers with the Neil Rogers disease bit that's gotten so much airplay. It's kind of been a thorn in my side. I mean, I like the fact
nobody
that
can do
likes
Neil.
it.
He has a very distinctive delivery.
It's difficult. It's I don't know. It's just kind of nebulous. It's a real, there's kind of a nasal quality to it, and yet it's not, annoying. And
it's a real unique voice, I'll tell you. It's a real radio voice. Let's put it that way. I like his voice. He's got a good voice.
Can you cackle?
Can I cackle? Oh, I got a great one for him. Can he do Jeff Charles laugh?
Jeff Charles laugh?
Go for it, Richard.
I can't do Jeff Charles's laugh. I mean, I can't. That's what he sounds like.
Jeff Charles is going to be mud wrestling Roby Young. The winner gets the title of the Big Kahuna once and for all.
Well, I don't want to take up any more airtime.
Go ahead, Richard. We don't care.
And that I really didn't have much to contribute to your show today, Stan.
No,
I did want to...
You did, because you lowered my demographic, okay?
Or did I? Okay. As long as I did something for you.
All right.
All right, Stan, you have a good day.
Thank you, babe. Bye-bye. Now we have the fake Fernando and we have the real Fernando. Let's take the real Fernando.
How are you, Stan? How is it going?
Good.
I was listening, and I think, Skyler, if they keep that 105 that hot, they are going to burn themselves. Just a joke, Skyler.
Is that what that was? We call that a humoroid.
No, I like the Miami Sound Machine, but sometimes you put some of the things there that really, they are repeating the same beat, all the time, and sometimes you need something to go, through.
Well, like what?
Like what? Like I would say, like Stan plays for us sometimes U2, and he makes good combinations, intensive music, and, something like that. That will cool people a little bit. You know what I mean?
Fernando, what do you think I ought to do next Monday on the 4th of July?
Well, Stan, let me tell you, the first thing that Jim and Schuyler should do, he should record for you the young Stan Mayer, the king of the radio airwaves in South Florida. He should put all the effort you've done and how you have conquered, and you are the best in the town. And he should do something about that.
Well, that's very nice.
Story of Stan Mayer.
We didn't book Schuyler on the show to get me material.
Oh, that's okay.
I think that's a good idea, but the only problem with that characterization of young Stan is I'd have to get my kids started smoking.
Come on.
So he develops that hacking, rasping cough,
Stan is the best of them all.
Although I do think I can picture him going, one stinking cough.
Yeah, right.
Especially that, Uncle Neil that thinks he's the king and I don't know what's happening anymore,
All right, Fernando, good to talk to you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Yes, Ian.
Saludos, my friend. You don't know who you are.
All right, what
you mean fake?
Wait a minute now. What is the name of that restaurant?
My restaurant?
Your restaurant.
Natural Eats.
Natural Eats. Yeah, because I was trying to think of it yesterday. I thought it was called something like the Quarantine or something like that.
Quarantine. Nice, Stanley. Very nice. Hey, I don't think you play enough menudo, my friend.
Yeah,
so when's the food coming over, Ian?
What? Who?
When's the food coming over?
Tyler was listening to you.
See, the thing I was looking forward to on this show was eating on the air,
We never eat on this show.
It's what it's all about,
Smoke. Fortunately, I'm off now. Well,
that's obvious.
And
hey, Ian.
Yes, my friend.
Listen.
I'm jumping back and forth.
Listen, we had the real Fernando right before us.
I know. I heard. You said the real Fernando and the fake one, and I thought you were talking about me and my son.
No.
Yeah, and I started talking. You said, hello, Fernando. I said, saludos, my friend. And I hear this guy who's great. I like his idea about young Stan. Not like I've said it before.
Ian, shut up.
Sorry, slip.
I'm sick. I need some of your soup. What kind of soup they have at the restaurant?
Today we're having Mediterranean vegetable. It's good. It's like
I've known several of those in my time.
I think I'll call the Quarantine.
The Quarantine?
Yeah. What is the name of your big competition there?
Our big competition?
Yeah, the other health food place where I got sick.
Oh, it's not our competition. The place is up in North Miami, according to DJ. It's called something Unicorn or something like that?
Yeah, the Unicorn, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you got sick, because it's probably not all health food like ours.
No, it was too healthy.
Splendid, I am. That's splendid.
Man, if I don't
Rock.
get my MSG fix, I'm in bad shape.
Listen, Skyler.
Yes, sir.
I got a request for you.
All right.
Well, actually, I have a question.
Oh, well, either one.
With all the scratch music.
No, that's on power, sir. You're confused.
Please. I go with my Cuban friend Gabby. This guy refuses to listen to anything but, all that beatbox, and that's and and he puts on 105 and Power and all that stuff, and I have to listen to it. Luckily, he just bought a new car, and he hadn't have the stereo from his old car in yet. So this weekend was bliss.
Don't be so quick to lump us all into one category, my friend.
And you say, Joe Carroyo?
Joe Carroyo. Oh, it's Al Librera again. There he goes.
Old bit, right, Stan?
What can I tell you?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yes, right.
But anyways, that other Fernando sounded a lot like, geez.
He's the other
manager?
No, he's a nice guy.
Oh, no, I know that. He is a nice
too
guy.
serious.
He's got that great accent. He sounds like the old city manager.
Hey,
he sounded more like Ricardo Montalban to me.
Yeah. Ian, what should I do Monday?
What should you do Monday?
Yeah, I have to be here to work Monday.
Well, I have to work too.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you what I should do.
Let's see, July 4th.
Yeah, that's right. Fireworks, the whole bit, you know.
Well, you can't really have fireworks on the air. Well, you can, but I don't think a lot of people would be listening very...
How about a contrived debate?
Yeah, contrived debate.
That'd be something new on the radio.
Versus Burger King.
Whatever.
How you done that? Geez.
Coke versus Pepsi?
Yeah, that's good. Some all-American thing, like Franco-American versus, Chef Boyardee or something like that.
Now you're talking.
There you go. You like SpaghettiOs or those little roller coasters? You had a bunch of people calling in.
I need to confer with Lee Fowler.
Yeah, really.
Do a simulcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A simulcast. Listen, 105, I'm sorry, Scholar, I haven't heard you before, but like I told Stan a million times,
say something nice about
Jim.
Jim. Come on, he's been here for 4 hours.
I've been enjoying you a lot there on Stan Show. I've been listening to you since 2. I missed a lot of it. Have you played Young Neil yet?
Oh, yeah, we played
that. I missed that.
Talked about it, told the whole story.
Yep.
Shame on you.
You're not paying attention. See,
yeah.
you're just...
Well, I am, but see, I had to be inside the store for a long time, and then I had an appointment for an hour.
Excuses.
Where are your priorities?
Right, absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Come up there.
No, I got to take a break, I'm.
All right, Stan. Well, whatever you do will be fine. Skyler, nice talking to you.
Okay, well, check out the morning show, okay? And don't be so persnickety about music.
Absolutely.
Persnickety?
Yeah, right.
We're talking about music, not that scratch mung.
We don't play scratch mung, sir. We play America's favorite hits. All the hits. Nothing but the hits.
Right.
24 hours a day.
Right.
Oh, come on.
The same 10 records every hour.
I hear better music with my friend when my cat
come on. Say goodbye, Ian.
All right, goodbye.
Good.
He's been listening to the ringing in his ears for too long.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a break. We'll find out about the traffic and be back on the major program on WINZ. Debbie?
Yeah, how are you?
How are you?
Pretty good, Stan. How are you?
I'm here.
You're there?
That's it.
He's good, Debbie. How are you?
I'm good. Skyler?
Yes. I'm good, too. How are you?
What's the big idea telling Mr. Major here that, well, thanks, first of all, for saying that I wasn't a pig, but that I wasn't the kind of lady you'd marry?
No, this is...
No, that's what I said.
No.
I'm glad you guys finally decided to answer the phone, because in a half an hour I got to go on the air in Cleveland.
You're kidding. This isn't the Debbie.
Yes, it is.
Oh, no wonder you rated 4 arrows on the screen.
Wow.
This is the one.
Really?
The one we did that 5.5 days, 132 hours of nonstop lip locking at the greenhouse on Singer Island.
Oh, God.
Now, to tell me something.
Ew.
Oh, no. Yeah. She's back.
Hey, Stan, I got a story to tell you about Mr. Schuyler there.
Oh,
please.
Quite a few of them, I'm sure.
Please.
This is a really good one, Jim, and I'm sure this is going to hit your hot button if you remember. Do you remember taking a bath with a certain ethnic young lady, but instead of using bubble bath, you used Nair?
Ethnic young lady?
Well...
No, I don't remember that.
Bath with the lady with the Nair?
What's ethnic young lady mean?
Well, that's the saying we have here in Cleveland.
Oh, I see. Okay.
How the heck did you catch wind of this program in Cleveland?
Well, I still have contacts in South Florida. I didn't live there 10 years for nothing, you know.
Yeah, so you wear your glasses now in Cleveland, is that it?
I don't wear glasses. I never did.
No. But it was
What
just
station
play on
are you
words,
with
Debbie.
there?
I'm with WMMS.
Really?
Buzzard.
That's a big one.
Buzzard.
Yeah.
Where did I go wrong, Stan? She's
That's
at
a
this
big
big station in Cleveland.
Yeah, right.
Well, you're doing pretty good yourself, Skyler. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're
I
no
am doing
schlock.
good. Huh?
You're no schlock.
Well, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Well, it's been years.
I know. I remember one time after we worked together at that now defunct radio station in West Palm Beach.
Which wasn't a very happy time, if I remember. Management was kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Billy?
Oh, so what's new about that?
Really?
Yeah, one of these nepotism deals, you know.
Oh,
where his
I
son was the
see.
GM.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I got that.
Others giving him like 4 properties, and he drove all 4 of them into the toilet.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, go ahead.
But no, then I was music director at another station in Fort Pierce.
Uh-huh.
And you were working at the late lamented Z97 in Jupiter, I think, right?
Yeah, because I had already gone from West Palm to Fort Pierce to Jupiter.
And you came up and took a tour of our facility, and we were just putting it together, and we had like no budget or anything else, and we had a kind of a limited but slowly growing record collection, and you took one look and you said something like, "No dead Kennedys? How depressing." And as music director, I kind of took umbrage to that, but
She had great lips.
Award-winning, record-breaking lips.
That's right. We held the record for a while until that out-of-work actor or an actress had nothing better to do with 12 days of their time.
Oh, I know. That was a real low point for me because I was out of work when that happened.
I was working at CKO, K102, which is now defunct.
Uh-huh. We're just the kiss of death. Every station we've ever worked at is now defunct.
See, that tells us something. When we were there, it was hot, and then the minute we left, kaput.
But I remember waking up that morning when they broke that record, and Diane Sawyer, who was doing the CBS Morning News at that time, mispronounced my name on nationwide TV. It was
boy.
A great moment for me. Jim Schuyler and Debbie LeRae.
Yep, that was a long time ago. But,
Debbie,
hey, there's nothing you can do in Miami that I will not find out about, so remember that.
Oh, my God.
Are you living in Park Center?
No.
No, why not?
No, Cleveland?
That's the only place to live.
No, I live in Brecksville.
Oh, God. Are the supermarkets still closing down at 7 in the evening?
No, but the city of Cleveland does at 5.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
They roll up the sidewalks and tuck it away. And I work 6 to 10 at night, prime time, and forget it. If you're hungry, you starve to death.
Yeah.
Well, I've come in contact. I've been away from West Palm for a while, and I came back a little while ago, and about a year ago, I was living in Fort Pierce again. I went back to that same station again and did mornings.
Oh, God.
And then I was
punishment.
Yeah, I know. And now I'm living in West Palm and commuting into Coral Gables every day. But I've run into a lot of the people that we used to work with, and they all ask about you. I
bet they do.
Yeah.
Can
Whatever
you drop
happened
me any
to
names?
Huh?
Give me some names.
Oh, like Joe Palizzi and John Herron and Monica Fenton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really exciting on South Florida's #1 talk.
Well, hey, you know.
It's a lot more exciting than that Richard and that Ian and that other
come on, Debbie.
that you had. Come on.
Yeah.
At least, Stan, we're talking about intelligent things here.
These are my pinheads that...
And I love your jingle, by the way.
They give me my 25 to 54
Major.
demo here.
Whenever I come to South Florida, I always listen to you.
Really?
Yep.
Everything okay in your life? You married now? Or...
No.
No? Well, you're smart.
Dad, I'm not the kind of girl you'd want to marry.
I wouldn't say you're not the type that no one would want to marry. It was just me personally, and I have to say that because my wife is listening.
I'm still single, but you weren't married at that time.
No.
Listen, Debbie, I got to move on. When you come back down here, will you give me a call and come on the show?
I'd love to, Stan.
Okay.
Just don't talk about me anymore.
Oh, yeah. That's why I want you on the show.
Is this an open invitation?
Absolutely.
I got a lot of dirt about everybody, Stan.
Great.
Oh, great.
We love it. Okay.
We could definitely fill a whole afternoon of it.
Great.
So what can you tell us about Rick and Suds? We want to know.
I miss South Florida. I really do. It was good to me.
How's Cleveland?
Cleveland's been great. Cleveland is a lot of fun. It's a rock and roll city. It's a rock and roll.
Is it still snowing?
No, it's beautiful. Actually, it's been. We haven't had rain. In fact, we're in the middle of a drought. If you watch the news at all,
I know.
And it's been incredible. There's been no rain. Saturday it hit 104 degrees.
Gee.
It's like Phoenix, Arizona weather has moved to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Okay, Dad, listen.
It's great. It's the rock and roll capital of the world. It's the home of the future site of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, which should be in Philadelphia, but we won't get into that.
No, we won't discuss that.
Well, thanks to you, we have a full board of calls.
Discuss that when I come down and go on your show.
Right.
And listen, I'm real happy that everything's going good for you.
Same for you. I heard that you were at Hot, and I wish you the best.
Thank you. Same to you.
Hard feelings.
Okay, well, no.
That was 8 years ago.
Let's not get into that.
Okay, Deb. Give me a call when you come down again.
You got a deal, Stan. Good luck to you too, babe.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, my God. This is your life.
Dave.
Dave, this is your life now.
Wake up, Dave. What?
Stan,
Yes.
Schuyler.
What?
Who are you kidding?
Oh, what?
Who are you kidding?
About what?
How you doing, Stan?
Great.
Okay, my wife wants to say something.
Okay.
Okay, my boy listens to Hot 105 type of music, but I listen to Neil and Stan and Magic. So
Oh,
that's my niche.
You wait a minute. You listen to Magic?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And sometimes she. Sorry about that. Only on Sundays though.
So your son has double your IQ. Is that what you're saying, sir?
I have no idea. He loves it. Hang on a second.
Okay. Time's up.
Hi, Stan.
Who's this? Barb?
Uh-huh.
Hi, Barb. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Great.
I got a thing for you that you can do on the 4th of July.
I'll bet you do. Can we do it on the air? And will you tell your husband? And should I tell my wife?
Well, it involves your wife as well.
Oh, boy.
Just bring your wife to the show and let her sit in on the show, too.
Last time I did that, nobody called.
There'll be a lot of calls. Boys.
You think so?
Oh, yes. Try it again and see if it don't work.
Yeah, that sounds a little self-serving to bring your wife in and put her on the air, doesn't it, Jim?
Well, I don't know. In your case, she's...
Yeah, in my
I've heard
case,
her on
it's
the air.
self-serving,
No, but I've heard her on the air.
Yeah.
She was fine.
Yeah, she's okay.
Yeah, she'll do all right.
Oh, I'm sure she will. She's great. That's not the problem, It's
Well, maybe after the baby comes and, Christmas time, you could have Christmas with the Major family.
Oh,
right.
Oh, no, I'm going to be on vacation.
I'm putting Stan right over the edge now. He's had this queasy stomach all afternoon, and the thought of what I just mentioned is just too much for him to bear.
Hey, Hot 105.
Yes?
Why do you play so much bass music?
Well, it's home base to many of us. Hard-working stiffs.
That's why my son likes it so much. It's all that boom, 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 boom.
Well, we don't just play boom, boom, boom,
He
boom, boom.
listens to boom, boom, boom all the time.
Well, let me just... Okay, I don't want to shill for Hot 105 and the music that
Oh,
we play.
come on. You've done 4 hours today. Go ahead.
No, in all candor, the boom, 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 boom is real popular here in this neck of the woods, number one. And number two, that's not all we play. We play all the stuff that's a hit.
Uh-huh.
Seriously. And, don't blame me, because as I've said many times on the radio, don't blame me. I'm not the one who's out there buying these records and making them popular,
Got it, I know.
Say,
It's crazy over them now.
Okay, Barb, got to go.
But we do a hell of a morning show. It's so hilarious and refreshing. And goodbye, Barbara.
Bye, Barb. Let's take a break. We'll find out about the traffic and be back on the major program on WINZ.
Oh, you beautiful doll, you great big beautiful doll. Even though my friends all hate you, I just can't wait to inflate you. Oh, you beautiful doll, you lifelike real suction doll. You are made of rubber with a heart of gold, the greatest love toy that was ever sold. Oh, 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 you beautiful, silently dutiful, never inscrutable doll.
See, I can sing on key.
Now,
love bugs thing.
just as an example there,
Yeah.
how many people on that?
Just me.
Just you. How many tracks then?
4.
4 tracks.
4-part harmony.
Wow, and you do your own harmony, just like Madonna, man.
What a god.
Gloria Estefan. Great.
I have been compared to Gloria Estefan
Yes.
many, many times.
Right.
Really
Gary.
tedious.
Stan.
How are you?
Excellent, my friend. I understand you're feeling under the weather?
A little under the weather, doctor. Give me a cure.
Well, what's the problem, Stan?
A little flu, little bug.
You taking your vitamins?
Absolutely.
Okay, tonight when you take your vitamins, wash them down with Southern Comfort and Coke with a twist of lemon.
God, that sounds awful.
It works.
How about Jack Daniels?
No, it's too harsh on the vocal cords.
Oh, okay.
And we got to guard your precious voice.
Yes, right.
Do you have a license to practice medicine or just poetic license?
Watch it, Skyler. Skyler,
Yes,
I called actually to say that you do a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you've sent tapes to Dr. Demento.
Actually, no. No, I take that back. I did once, years ago, I did a silly country song with, my brother-in-law was getting into recording at that time. And we did something for him, and he liked it, but it was a little too long, and he wasn't really happy with the production end of it. Because, we just had a 4-track machine and home equipment and so on, and...
Just because he sent it back to him in a plain brown wrapper.
No, I got a personal letter from him back and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I do have the distinction, though, of getting Joey Reynolds' Rats in My Room played on Dr. Demento, though. I sent that in to him, and he loved that.
Oh, I have done some work with Dr. Demento, Barry Hansen.
Yes.
And I know from experience, not mine particularly, but other people's, that if you have bits played by him repeatedly and they get requested a lot, by the time your contract is up at 105,
yeah,
you can be looking at megabucks in a major market.
Come on. Nobody can use Dr. Demento as some kind of springboard to fame and fortune.
For the
Get out of
production
here.
qualities, yes, you can.
Oh, come on.
Look at the K97 Looney Tunes from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Come on. You're just freaked by Demento, Gary. Come on. Admit it.
Oh, come on.
You're the
because he gave me one
biggest
of my
Demento freak in the world.
On the other hand, I have no contract with Hot 105, so maybe I ought to get right on it.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff you've been doing is excellent. Now, as a rule, I don't listen to 105.
Oh, you're making a big mistake. We play
I will
much,
check it out tomorrow morning.
We play much better music than Mike and Arlene, okay? I can state that unequivocally.
I'm in love with Arlene. And,
well, you in one army?
Well, actually,
See, if we could get Arlene and Demento together.
Actually, I am in love with Debbie. I remember her from K102. And,
Hot lips.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm ready to board a plane to Cleveland.
Oh.
And I've been there before, so it tells you how bad I got it.
I can't go home tonight, Stan. You realize that?
But I just called to say howdy.
Sure you can.
And be careful, the mongrel brains are out in force on the roads today.
Okay, Gare.
Have a good one, Stan.
Thank you.
Oh, and thanks for the George Thorogood.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Robert.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Okay.
I just got a couple of questions there. First off, doesn't Zeta 4, that's your
FM, yeah, we know.
parent station?
Parent station?
Sister station.
Well, like a wicked stepsister, sir.
Yeah. Don't they get upset when you have a guest from another FM show on?
No.
No?
Why should they?
Well, the competition.
Even
Not
the competition
exactly.
agrees.
They would get bent out of shape a little bit if I had somebody on from She or GTR. But Hot 105, they play all that scratch music.
Plus, we like them and they like us, so...
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Peter Bolger was offering you a little something in there that we won't talk about.
Yeah.
And it doesn't pour.
No.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it could. They're very friendly. Skyler has done a lot of stuff for Neil. Okay.
Now that was
in the old days.
Officially, yes,
Yeah,
in the old days. When he was on this radio station and doing middays and was not a direct competitor, and we used to send a lot of stuff over there.
Yeah.
Because I used to drive home I have that long hour-and-a-half drive, and I would listen to Neil on the commute home, and I got to be a big fan. And sent some stuff over, and he was real nice.
And that's
about
why
playing
he's
it.
here, because he's a talented guy. And Mark Moseley wouldn't show up.
It's my home away from home here at the fabulous WINZ Zeta Broadcast Complex.
What's your second question, Robert?
Does Hot 105 have a sister station on the AM?
Well, we have several, but not in this town. We have, we're part of the EZ Communications Broadcast Empire, and we have 18, some ungodly number of radio stations all across America.
Yeah, they got a
Pittsburgh,
lot of big stations.
New Orleans.
But they don't have an AM in this market. I think that's
St.
what
Louis.
he was...
Yeah, no, we don't have an AM station in this market. is a pity because obviously, you know, I could be doing my own talk show on that if we had that.
You almost got to do your own talk show today.
Well, some other time, Stan, when you feel even worse.
All right, Robert, good to talk to you. 624-9400 and Dade, 524-9400. And I don't know why I'm giving the number out. I'm not going to talk to anybody after the next break.
Oh, come on.
Mike.
Stan.
Mike.
How you doing?
Okay.
Speak up, Stan. Mike, whatever your name is.
You guys put on the best show this afternoon. Incredible.
Well, if you think this is good, you ought to listen to a certain McKay in the Morning type program.
listen to these plugs he's getting.
I know. I usually listen to Neil. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Don't be sorry. To each his own. But, you know, he's on vacation this week, and, you know, this might be a good time.
I got a chance here to tune in and see how you do, because you did a hell of a job today, I'll say that.
When Neil plays records and gets ticked off at the listeners and the callers, and he plays music, then you ought to punch around and see what the other guys are doing.
Good point. I will do that.
And, of course, you're going to hear music.
On the subject of the guy a couple of calls back about the Dr. Demento being a springboard or a jumping board or whatever.
Or a clothes hamper or something, yeah.
Look at Weird Al Yankovic. If it wasn't for Dr. Demento, Weird Al would have never gone anywhere.
How about diving board?
Boy, that's the most blatant condemnation
I don't know,
of anybody.
I don't know which came first, Weird Al or Dr. Demento. Didn't Al make it on his own first?
No, not really.
Oh, no, that was all Dr. Demento that got Al going.
Yeah,
really?
Dr. Demento definitely helped him. There's no question about that. Yeah.
The only Dr. Demento thing I'd like to have would be the Eye of the Tiger. You ever hear that?
No.
The Rocky Takeoff?
No.
Oh, I never even heard
Rocky
that.
owns
I've
the
been
restaurant?
listening to him.
Oh, that's great.
12 years.
You don't like Weird Al at all?
No,
I mean, he's sitting here looking, you know, he's got this strained look on his face like Al Yankovic?
Well, I mean, you know, he's...
Well, a lot of his stuff is bad, but the Michael Jackson takeoff and the Rocky thing.
Oh, the Michael Jackson takeoff. I thought that was great.
Oh, it is. It is. Beat it.
Especially when he blows up.
Oh, eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fat.
He's had a lot of them, you know, Stop Dragging My Car Around and got a bunch of stuff.
Well, send them to me, sir. I'll play them, okay? If you send them to me, I'll play them. I'm not going to buy them. I'm not going to waste my money buying them.
Well, I will definitely send you a tape of some. In fact, I'm coming down for J. Michael's birthday, and I'll bring down a couple of the albums, and I'll leave them with you so you can card them up.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
I may not be here, but that's okay.
All right, no problem.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Pleasure. I understand you were trolling for old Hot 105 bumper stickers yesterday, so here's some new ones for you.
Thank you. Okay, my thanks again to Jim Schuyler of Hot 105. And for doing the full 4 hours with me. And I really appreciate that because I'm a little bit under the weather. And we will see you tomorrow from 2 until 6 for the major program. Frank Motek is here with the news next. Don't go away from WINZ.